Yo, what's up everybody? This is Jeremy with Phat Airlines. How are you guys doing today? So nice to see you guys. Today we're gonna talk about update 3.3.1. 3.3.1 came with a couple cool new features, and one feature that's really gonna change the way we play with player contracts, and I think a lot of people, it's going to change the way we play player contracts forever in World of Airports. But it's a feature we've been asking for a very long time, and I'm pretty glad to see it, and I'm super excited. So while we were for the last 45 minutes, I actually loaded into LHR, and I have all of these planes scheduled to land. So this way we have a bunch of planes on the ground right now ready to handle a bunch of large planes. You could see like a bunch of A380s, but that way we can actually be a little bit efficient today on today's stream, handle a bunch of planes and go through it. But before we start handling planes, before we start playing some World of Airports, what I want to do is I want to go over the patch notes. That way we can discuss it and see what feature I'm talking about here. So what we got here on the World of Airports forum is the 3.3.1 release notes. The link to these notes are actually in the description on YouTube, so if you want to follow along, you can go ahead. But there are new features added in 3.3.1, right? So they have prefer schedule option for the delivery tower controller. New filter allows assigning airplanes only from the scheduling system. So what that does, if you go into your delivery manager over here, you have this new option here that says prefer schedule. What that'll do, from my experience, is when you have a schedule assigned to certain planes, that plane will not be assigned any other stand, even if there's another stand available. You can still manually assign that plane to another stand, but that plane will not go to another stand until you manually assign it or you turn off that option. So pretty cool feature. So that way people who are trying to go for realism, that plane is always going to that stand, and it won't change. It won't, because the delivery manager is on. So I like that feature. UI, user interface, stand class restriction update. Restricted stand classes are now highlighted in orange. So I'll show you that one too, right? So it's kind of hard to show you in LHR because there's no blocked stands. But if you look here, if you turn off stands, these stands now are going to be highlighted in orange. I think this is a cool update too, because it was hard to tell whether a stand was disabled or if a stand was blocked, right? Because in some airports, if you have a plane that's larger, it'll block different sizes from other planes and other adjacent, next stands that are next door. So this kind of orange color lets you know that it's closed, and I think the red is still there for the blocked stands. So it kind of gives a differentiation between a closed and a blocked stand. So I thought that was pretty cool. We have a UI reset airport schedule. I actually never looked at this one, so we're going to have to look at it together. But there's a new button added in the scheduling system to reset the schedule. So let's take a look at that. Scheduling system's right down here. We're going to click on that. Do I even have a schedule on this airport? I don't. So, but even if I don't have a schedule, there's still that reset button. So you can reset everything here. So that way all the planes go back onto the right hand side. So you can reset it all without having to manually, one by one, adjust it. I have 334 contracts here, but on my main account, I have like 1,500 contracts. So having to go reset all of them manually would be quite the task, right? So I'm happy about that update, that feature as well. And then UI, player contracts show duration after arrival. This is the game-changing feature. This is what's going to change everybody doing player contracts going forward, right? So there's a new timer on the player contract detail screen that shows how long the airplane has been waiting to land. So let me show you guys this, and then after we read this, then I'm gonna go say hi to all you guys, because I appreciate you guys being here. But I want the people who are watching this replay on YouTube to also see this first, right? So if you go into your fleet menu or into your contract menu, you'll see, I'm gonna go into the contract menu, right? Because I got a lot of contracts. But you'll see here, you can look at all your contracts, but then you'll see the player name, well, the player name's up here, what kind of contract it is and where it's at. But then you can see over here that this plane is at Nagoya for 41 days and 20 hours. This B77W is at Nagoya for 291 days and 11 hours. So that kind of gives you an idea of how long it's been since a player has played. Look at this, 580 days and 21 hours. I know Twill stopped playing the game, so that gives us, this is awesome for me because it kind of lets me know which contracts I can cancel, right? Like 580 days, that guy is not playing, or at least not playing that airport, right? Just because somebody's at 580 days doesn't mean they're not playing. It might just mean that they're not playing that airport, right? So you have those there, and you have different, different lengths. You can see how long it's been since somebody's played their airport on that account, right? So you also have the same thing on your fleet menu here. So if you go to your fleet and you go to my fleet, we did have a few over here. So we can look at it and you can see right here. Here's one that's going to Stitches at GRU for 41 days. So the reason why I think this is going to change the game forever for us is because now when you're looking at contracts, people have an idea, and it's easy for us to keep an eye out on how long it's been since the contract has been handled, right? So 209 days, like that's over half a year, right? 180 days is about a year. So that's been over 6 months. So should I cancel that contract? Should I not? Right? That's the question now I have to face, with myself. And a lot of people are going to be looking at that. And you'll see a few, I don't know why error happened, but you'll see a few other people also kind of mentioning this. So now what you're going to have to look for is when you're making a contract with people, I might have to restart my game. But when you're making a contract with people, most likely you want to let people know what is your expectation for how often they should be handling, right? For me, I don't really have a high expectation. I don't know what my limit will be, but I think right now, if you haven't played an airport in 180 days, then it's, or you haven't handled a plane, whether it's my plane or your plane, in 180 days, then I think it's safe to say that you're not playing that airport anymore, right? I'm not going to see that plane. Right here, 216 days. I think it's safe to say that this person is not playing IAD. It's been 216 days. So some people want to have a daily player, right? So you might end up getting contracts canceled if you don't play in 2 days or 3 days, right? Some people are okay with weekly play. So that's something that's going to change the game forever, because we're going to have to keep an eye out to see how long has it been since you've last handled your contract, right? So let me see if I can cancel this contract now. There we go. Yep. So you got all these contracts that haven't been handled in a long time, which is great for me because I don't know why that one's still I can't cancel. Might have to refresh the game one more time. I don't know. There we go. Now you're getting a message here that tells you, right? Are you sure you want to cancel this contract? Funds spent will not be returned. So for player contracts, there's no funds that you spend, but like with all the other contract cancellations, there are funds that you might spend. I'm gonna have to figure out why we're getting those error messages, but let's keep reading the patch notes, because a new timer on the player contract detail screen shows how long the airplane's been waiting to land. So when you're making a player post, if you have expectations from other players to play every day, make sure you make it clear, because nothing's more frustrating to a player than having a contract with somebody and then having that contract get canceled. All right. I mean, it's also frustrating. Like, don't get me wrong. It's also frustrating if you have a contract with somebody and they don't handle your plane, right? But you guys have to be on the same page. And that's where, working together and communicating is going to be good. I don't know what my limit's going to be. I'm going to post it on the Phat Airlines Discord. So join the Phat Airlines Discord, because I'm going to make a player news announcement post once I determine what it is. I think it's going to be 180 days. That way, if people want to take a break, it's no problem. But at the same time, I need contract capacity so I can do more of my email list, right? A lot of people, you guys signed up for my email list, and I haven't sent an email out recently because in a lot of these airports, I only have like 50 contract slots. And when I send out these email contracts, if you guys don't know what my email contracts are, let me show you. If you go if you sign up for my email contract list, what ends up happening is I get hundreds of replies back, and I want to send a plane to every single person that replies back. So my only ask is that you handle the plane once in 6 months. I think that's pretty fair. And if you're not handling it in 6 months, then it's safe to say that you're not playing that airport or you quit the game. And if you don't sign up for the email contracts already, go to PHATAIRLINES.com. Right now, you can just go right to the homepage. There's a little sign up. You put in your World of Airports username, you put in your email address, and then you hit next, and it'll sign you up for the list. So that way, once we send an email, the email comes out to you. The email tells you what airplane we're sending out to players and what airports it can go to. If you have one of those airports, then you can request it, and then I'll be sending you out that plane in a short amount of time. So this will open up so much contract capacity for me, and it'll also add a little bit more planes in my fleet, because some planes haven't returned in a while, right? So then there's also some bug fixes on this update. Scheduling system bug fix resolved an issue that caused the airport to freeze, preventing players from continuing operations. Fixed a crash issue with the radio ATC voice on iOS 16. Wow, 16, that's old. iOS 16 devices. Ambulift wheelchair animation fixes resolved inconsistencies with animations during boarding, disembarkation, and at transparent jet bridges. Door color correction. Doors now turn white when opened on E135, B752, and B753 aircraft. Livery fixes on all those liveries. Updated airline logos in Wowipedia. Pilot route path corrections. Fixed incorrect status text after selling a parked airplane during pushback phase. Radio and contract status now displayed correctly. UI fixed overlapping text issues. Fixed Ambulift icon showing incorrect color in the economy tab when accepting a random player arrival. B752F stair position fix. And corrected the appearance of a 752 DHL Snow White livery. For example, after claiming the reward aircraft at level 12 at LHR Heathrow. So let me see here if there's any responses from the developers. Oh, this is Hammy. I don't know if Hammy's here. I haven't said you guys hi to you guys in chat. It's been 20 minutes. My bad, guys. But Hammy says, a player with more player contracts than AI, the timer at the bottom is a game changer. Having advocated for it and coming to fruition says a lot about the devs in Cuba reading the forum and taking community feedback into account. Hopefully the cross-platform gameplay, iOS to Android and the other way, Android to iOS and the other way around too, is on the cards for the nearest future. Great work, team. Please keep the updates rolling. Thank you. Hammy, I agree. Awesome. Let's see, any replies from the developers here? Charlie. Okay, nope. It's not. What would not available in Vietnam because of government restrictions? All right. For Android, it's still going to be called 3.3.1. By the way. All right, no other replies from the developers. So either way, I think, just having that timer is going to be a real game changer. I'm going to go through contracts here. Like, look at this. We have this contract here that's at 0 out of 10 for 328 days. So we're going to go ahead and cancel that. What else we have? And by the way, if you guys have contracts with Phat Empire, you guys are going to have very long timers. I think Voitando has almost a year since I played Innsbruck on Phat Empire account. So it's a very long timers there. I do feel bad because like we made progress. We're at 4 out of 10, but we haven't that plane hasn't showed up in like 100 days. I probably shouldn't have canceled that one, but this one 342 days. That one I'm gonna cancel, right? And I know. Oh, by the way, just to give you guys an update on my main account. So on my main account, which is the Phat Rican, on my main account, if you guys have contracts with me and that you haven't canceled already, from any of my airports, Innsbruck, Bari, even like those airports that I don't play often, if you have any contracts with me on those accounts, on my main account, and I haven't played an airport in a long time, I am committing to playing every single airport maybe once a week. So if that is fine with you, then just give me a week so I can finish handling all the airports. If that's not okay with you, then go ahead and cancel your contract. But I'm gonna do my best to play the World of Airports on every single airport at least once a week. Now my main account, the Phat Rican, I'm still gonna be playing Washington IAD. I'm going to be playing LHR, London Heathrow, and I'm going to be playing Bangkok, BKK. I'm going to be playing those daily. Some days are busier than others where I don't get to play World of Airports as much, so please understand that too, right? But for the most part, I'm going to be playing those airports daily. So if you're looking for a daily player, then you could send it my way. But yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm just canceling any contract that's over 180 days old. It looks like there might be a bug with canceling the super old contracts because I closed the game and reopened it, and some of the contracts maybe I have to close the game and reopen it again. But I'm not going to do that again now. We're going to do that later. But like some of these contracts are almost at like 100 days. I'm not canceling those. This is 12 days. Actually, this is because I just accepted this contract this morning. Here's one that's 100 and something, 200 days I think it was, 153. So that's not over my threshold. Phat Airlines, sorry buddy, 41 days, 355 days. So I mean, I was almost maxed out on my contract capacity here, and I already opened up like 20 slots from canceling contracts that are inactive, which is really good because, I mean, one, I don't like canceling contracts, but if you're not playing, then it doesn't make sense for me to keep the contract going, right? Because the whole idea here is we want to keep getting silver planes, we want to keep getting progression, we want to level up, and if you can't, I mean, I know life gets in the way, but if you want to redo the contract with me, we can go ahead, and I have no problem setting up the contract again and starting again. It's not like you're on my blacklist, you know. But all right, back to you guys. Thank you guys for bearing with me there. Air Sri Param, what's up, man? Fleeting Negligence is here. Hannes Pro is here. Sammy's here. Voitando's here. Cake is here. Magiskais is here. Dinju is here. Dinju came in first. Yo, who else was here? I forgot. That was Mr. Chicken Guy. Thank you for the follow, man. What's up, bro? Euroland Airways is here. We got Hockey Fan. Who else? We have Paulo. Paulo. What's up, Paulo? Rhoda Bridge is here. Gabetta. What's up? Jan. Jan is here. Voitando's not going to be here. I got you, bro. Enjoy time with the family. We got M. Dryan. Hammy, I'll take a look at my DMs real quick. What's up, Hammy? What's up, Made to Move? We got Apex here. We got DJ Bay. Nice. We got the whole crowd here, the whole squad. What's up? Triple D is here from Iowa. Nice. I'm from New Jersey, guys. Well, let's well, how's my departure queue looking over here? Oh, I don't have any planes departing. That's good. Yeah, hopefully there is a fix to get those planes back. I'm not sure what that's referring to, but if it's talking about the bug that I'm experiencing, then I'm with you. Let's see. Apex is from Sri Lanka. Well, awesome. Thanks for joining. Air Sri Prom's birthday's on Monday. Nice. Get that man some contracts. Get that guy some contracts. Didn't you ask how are you? It's a good day. You know, I'm pretty hyped about this. Like, it's kind of funny because I get more hyped sometimes over these minor updates because they add such like small features that are like game changers, you know, like really like beneficial. And you know, not to forget about like the scheduling enhancements. They added the reset button over here. They added the delivery option to prefer to schedule. And I mean, what that tells me is that like over some time, we're probably going to see more improvements to like the scheduling feature as well, which is what I hoped for. But seeing it already in action makes it so much better, you know. Okay, so we're gonna schedule this one to land because this one's at 9 out of 10. This one's at 8 out of 10. So we're gonna do this one that's at 4 out of 5. Let me check. I'm gonna take a look at my DMs real quick. The contract bug cancellation happens when a player quit the game or changed their in-game name. Oh, so okay, that makes sense. Hopefully they get that fixed. And there's another post that we want to take a look at. So give me a second here. I'm gonna see if I can pull up this post. My iPad. All right, let's see if we can pull this up. Discord. All right, here's another. I think this is the third time somebody sent me this this post here. I don't know why I can't click it though. I'm gonna close Discord, reopen it. Visit site. There we go. All right, here's another post. Like I said, this is like the third time somebody has sent this to me. So let me actually switch over to World Airports. That way I think I'm logged in here. And there's a suggestion here. I'm gonna post the links in the chat, so that way if you guys want to vote for it, you guys can. But this is in the feature request, being able to heart a plane while accepting the contract. What is your suggestion? It would be great if we could mark a player contract with a heart as a favorite when accepting it from the contract card. Yeah, I've been asking this for in streams for a long time, so no wonder a lot of people have been sending it my way. So thank you guys for sharing it with me, and thank you, Hammy, for doing it now too. It's a good time to bring it up. How would it work in the game? When accepting a contract from the contracts menu, allow users to mark it with a heart as a favorite. This option will be available for each new contract. This feature would help players save time by eliminating the need to search through hundreds of contracts to find a specific one. Allowing players to favorite contracts enhances visibility and provides quick, convenient access to the ones that matter most. Here's an optional image. Nice. Yeah, let me vote for this real quick. Vote. So thank you, Hammy, for making that post. And Made to Move is in favor for it too. Made to Move is here, so it says I'm 100% in favor for this improvement because I always, after accepting a contract, have to go search in my hangar to do a red heart that new contract. That could take some time. We have a large amount of player contracts. Big thumbs up for this request. Agree. I was actually in the process of making a post too on the forum, and anybody else, if you want to post it on my behalf, feel free. But one of the things I wanted to do, request was I wanted, and it's not so important here in LHR, but in IAD it's super important. But I would love to have the option to be able to modify the stand while it's occupied, because right now it doesn't let you modify the stand. It says the stand is currently occupied and cannot be edited. So my suggestion that I was working on, and then my draft got deleted, so I kind of stopped. I gave up on it. But my suggestion was I would like to be able to edit, which is enable or disable stand sizes, which become effective as soon as the current plane pushes back, right? So for example, at IAD, this is where my example is going to be. At IAD, there's this one cargo stand that is a G-plane stand, right? And that cargo stand, that's a G-plane stand, you cannot use it if there are any other planes in the two adjacent stands, you know, the stands next to it. So if there's any plane assigned in the two stands next to it, the G plane cannot land at all. So what I would love to do is be able to go into here, go into that stand, even if it's currently occupied, hit the edit button, disable all the sizes. That way I can guarantee that no more planes get parked at that stand, so that way my G planes can land. I also think it'd just be helpful to like be able to you know, buy some extra stands, because now what I have to do is I have to it's multiple steps. I have to pause the delivery manager, right? So that way the delivery manager doesn't assign any more planes to those stands. Then I have to wait, you know, minutes, you know, it's sometimes, you know, anywhere from 0 minutes to like 18 minutes. That way I could wait for that plane to push back, right, and leave. And then while that's happening, while I'm waiting 18 minutes, I'm also, all the other planes cannot, you know, be cleared to land either. So it's tough, and it's not like, it kind of makes the scheduling and the delivery manager a lot less useful. So just having the option, in my opinion, having the option to disable the stands, so that way it's effective as soon as the current plane pushes back. You know, like for example, I think I understand why it says it cannot be edited, because if you disable the E stand and there's an E plane on there, there might be some kind of logic like failure on the game. But that's why I say it has to be effective as soon as the current plane pushes back. Once that's active, then we should be good to go. But that was my suggestion that I was working on making into the forum, and then I kind of I had to put the kids to sleep, and then my page refreshed, so my draft wasn't saved, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this another day, and I still haven't done it. So if somebody else wants to put that recommendation for me, I mean, that's more than welcome. I don't need all the credit. I don't need any credit, because I'm sure there's other people who probably agree with me. If you guys agree with me, feel free to make that post. Which doesn't work. Oh wow. And yo, what's up, Easy Nuts? I just looked over at Twitch chat. Darius Pilot said it can't really be modified while done because that plane would be affected. That's why I'm saying it needs to be effective as soon as that plane pushes back, right? So it's like a queued action, not effective immediately, but effective once the plane pushes back. It has to be a queued action. So like in this case, if I wanted to turn off, like in this stand over here where Hammy's plane's being handled, if I wanted to turn off, oh, that's hard. Put a main view over here. If I wanted to turn off this stand, right, and I wanted to turn off F planes, I would be able to hit confirm, and it wouldn't go into effect until Hammy's plane pushes back in 18 minutes. Otherwise, what I would have to do is I would have to turn off the delivery manager. I would have to also come back in 18 minutes to do that. And everything else is like, you know, kind of like automated, you know, other than handling the planes. That's like the one part of the game that's not automated, and I don't think it will ever be. But that's, you know, just how I think right now. Yo, what's up, Flamingo? Dan in Vermont, what's up? Dan in Vermont says, I've been canceling contracts if they haven't returned my planes in 90 days or more. I think that's understandable, and that's you know, generous. I've seen a lot of people saying like, you know, 1 week, 7 days. I've seen some people saying 30 days. I've seen 90 days as well. And you know, for me, that's why I think 180 days, because I want to be able to play with people who all of you guys, right? And I think if you're not playing in 6 months, then it's like really safe to say you're not playing the game, or you're not playing that airport, right? And that's one thing I want to make sure you guys know too. just because you're not playing the one airport doesn't mean that person stopped playing the game, right? There are multiple airports in this game. So some players, even though they might not be playing IAD, they might be playing Nagoya. So you can't just think that because somebody hasn't handled your plane in a couple of weeks, you can't just say that like so and so quit playing, because they might just not be playing that airport, or multiple airports, right? There could be multiple airports that they're not playing. So just something to keep in mind for when you are playing the game. You want to make sure that you're like, especially if you're talking to people online. I mean, first off, I wouldn't be like speaking on behalf of other people, but I know sometimes some people just want to check. Hey, have you heard from the Beggs boy, or like some other players, or Twiddle Airways? Fine, you could be like, yeah, I haven't seen any of their planes back from IAD. Now we have that information with us. So I think it's cool. I like it. I just hope I want to encourage everybody to not be toxic about it. That's why you want to make your expectations clear. If you're sending a plane to somebody, make sure you tell them, I want you to handle this daily. Otherwise, I'm canceling the contract. Or tell them, hey, just try to handle it once a week if you can. Make those expectations clear, because otherwise it could really turn toxic quick, right? And I don't want this community to turn into a toxic community. We're pretty good as it is right now. I love this community, and that was like my biggest concern when it came to this feature coming out, was that like some people, like you would see a lot of contracts getting canceled, like right at 25 hours people would cancel the contract because it hasn't been handled daily, right? So that's why set the expectations, be clear about it, and I think that'll keep the community and everybody aligned, and everybody will be happy about it. So please just do that. That would make me happy. Educate said a year. Yeah, man. Let's ask Voitando. We're gonna play Innsbruck on December 13th, just so we can make it exactly a year. But yeah, if you have a contract with my Phat Empire account, you do have to be aware that this is my stream only account, right? So what that means to you is that I'm only playing this account when I'm streaming the game. Yeah, when I'm streaming. So I only stream right now like once a week, sometimes twice a week, but mostly once per week. So if I'm only streaming once per week and I'm only playing one airport, or maybe even sometimes two airports during that one stream, then there's not a lot of time for me to handle everybody's planes. Then on top of that, I have 300 contracts at like LHR here, right? So not a lot of time to handle all your contracts. So that's why I usually recommend people send the contracts to my main account. But if you do want to send a contract still to my Phat Empire account, my stream only account, you go on Twitch, you go to Twitch, there's redemptions using your Phat coins that you can do to redeem an S-plane contract, for example, which Dolphin Airlines did. So we're gonna go ahead and accept that contract because they requested it. We got an M-plane contract from Euroland Airways right here. We got X-plane contract from Caker. We got an L-plane contract from Educate. We got an L-plane contract from Gab, which I'm guessing is 6 Surface, right? Is that right? Well, 1 minute ago, and this contract was sent 1 minute ago. And then you have here too, and this is something I didn't go over, but you also see how long that contract's been waiting for acceptance. So who knows you're me. I'm not accepting that contract because there's no contract being redeemed here. So that is that. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and let's keep assigning some planes some stands. I'm gonna keep trying to read. Mr. Chicken Guy from London, nice. Gab is from Chicago. Darius is from Chelmsford. Airstream is from, I don't even know how to say that, Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, India. Lower devs are A1 in improving the quality of the game features, TJ Bay says. Nice. I agree. I mean, they can be a little slow sometimes, but they do. I love that they listen to us and look at the recommendations and requests that us, the community has. You just got to make sure you're posting it on the forum, because I know there's also there's a, let me see here. If you go to the World of Airports Discord, there is WOA suggestions channel here, which I'm gonna go over one day during stream. I'm gonna review all of these, but the devs, I don't think they look over these anymore. There was at one point they did look over these, but once they switched over to the forum being the official place, they stopped looking at these. So I think I'm gonna spend one stream going through all these suggestions, reading them out loud, so that way we can talk about what our favorite ones are, and we can maybe make a post on that person's behalf, right? Because especially if like some of these posts are days old or weeks old, so we can look there. We also have a suggestions channel in the Phat Airlines Discord, so we can look at these as well, so that way we can go through there. Oh, Hammy made that post. Nice. That's a good idea too. I like what Hammy did, right? So Hammy posted it in the Discord, also posted the link to the forum post. So I love that. That's such a great idea. All right. Hammy said that request is already there at Phat Airlines. Nice. I couldn't find it when I first when I was posting it, but maybe it just wasn't like on the first page or something, or maybe I just didn't look hard enough. That's possible too, right? I'm not I might not be the best searcher. TJ Bay said, just this week I gave up on trying to run G-planes at IAD. The schedule made it a little worse because the gate stays empty until the G-plane can land. I know, right? See you later, Cake. Yeah, on Twitch, I'm getting an error here saying that my bitrate is too high, so I'm not sure exactly what that means. All right, I got your link, Hammy. Thank you. Let me send it over to my, because we're about to vote on this. We are about to vote on it if it's the idea I was talking about. So we're gonna go to right here. We're gonna click on this. Oh, there we go. 10 more planes. Allow buying new sizes and changing the allowed types while the stand is occupied. How would it work in the game? Remove the current block. If the idea is that the stand needs to be empty to be repainted, do it like plane maintenance and shut it down for 15 minutes after the current plane leaves. Why is this a good idea? It's annoying to have to wait for a plane to leave, especially if it's long handling, plus needing to turn off on delivery manager. The current way doesn't add realism, since the airport manager can change the future schedule while planes are in the airport, and the stand can immediately be used after it changes order, so it's not construction time. Yes. All right, I'm gonna vote for this too. Oh, let's open it over here. Oops, Control Z. What the? We go back, open it here. Cut that. Let's go to my, oh, I am logged in. Cool. We're gonna vote for it. Vote. All right, it's not working. Let's go to WOA here. Maybe I already voted on it. Maybe that's why it's not working. Vote. There we go. 16. I'm gonna post this link in YouTube as well for you guys over there, so that way if you guys want to vote for it too, you have the link. But yeah, I would love to be able to edit stands while occupied. That would just make handling G planes a lot better. But not only G planes, like you could use it a lot. You could use it everywhere. Especially where block stands are a problem. Not a problem, but I guess a problem. Especially where block stands can cause other planes to not land. You can disable stands, so that way when the next plane arrives, you can make sure that those larger planes or even the smaller planes are arriving. So and it's optional. It's optional, right? If you don't want the feature, you don't have to use it. But it would allow people who are like planning ahead and being like strategic to be able to do that, to plan ahead, be strategic, and to plan ahead. Yeah. So thank you, Hammy. What's up, Zyrox? What's up? Said hello, Phat. Long time no see. I was really busy. Hope everything is fine. Yeah, man. We I mean, I don't know how long you've been away. It's been a while. So I remember I noticed you've been gone, but I don't know how long it's been. But I know we I had another baby in July. You know, I kind of stopped playing my second account, which is Phat Airlines, for a little bit. I plan on resuming that pretty soon. Just gotta, you know, find the time. It's kind of tough sometimes when, you know, when I have two kids, you know, one that's like 2 years old, 2.5 years old, and another one that's 4 months old. But I'm starting to figure out my schedule again. You know, I'm figuring out when I could play World at airports. Oh, and on top of that, you know, now at my job, they require me to be in the office 3 days a week. So it makes it a little harder to also play World at airports in the office because, how do I word this? I don't want people thinking that I'm playing games, but like at the same time, it's like, maybe I just need a privacy screen on my iPad, you know? But like, cause like I'm not really playing. I mean, all I'm doing is landing planes, and then like every once in a while taking a break to start like going back over here. Like, okay, now it's time to handle. Like now it's time to tell these planes to push back and to take off and to do all these things. Oops, I guess I didn't tell it to take off. You know, every once in a while, and then I, you know, assign the handling crew, go back in here, assign the crew, and then I go back to work. You know, like, okay, now this is all done. I have no more handling crew. Back to work. You know. So, but yeah, you know, sometimes it's all about perception too. So I got to be careful with that. Maybe I just need a privacy screen. Maybe I just need a privacy screen. DJ Bay says, I play when I work from home. If I'm in the office, I will accept contracts only. Yeah, I mean, you could do what I'm doing here on the screen, right? Well, just like turn on the delivery manager for 10 minutes, turn on the approach manager for an hour or whatever, and then just let all the planes land. Especially if you're in a big airport like LHR or IAD, BKK, Muscat, Leipzig. GRU is another airport that benefits from like leaving the game on for like a couple of hour or more. As a matter of fact, somebody sent me an image of one of their planes not being handled by me for over 30 days, even though I've been playing GRU for like every week. But that's because I have so many contracts that some of these planes just haven't landed because there's not a lot of stands at GRU, and even though I have like all my stands are full, it just doesn't end up happening. All right. We got 10,000 silver planes for the first time in a long time, and I'm super excited about it. So here's my weekly reminder to all you guys is you need to always buy the 10 gold airplanes for 10,000 silver planes. All right. If you don't have 10,000 silver planes, don't buy the one gold plane. All right. I know it's super tempting, but you're overpaying when you're buying the one. Now, when do you buy the one gold plane? I would say it's when you have like 50,000 silver planes or more. That way you have a nice buffer in case you take a little bit of a break or something. But you get the most bang for your buck at 10 gold planes for 10,000 silver planes. This has a 1 week cooldown. So once I purchase this, it's going to take 6 days and 23 hours, 1 week, before I can purchase this again. So the reason why I recommend it at around 50,000 is because then you're good to buy this for a month, you know, for over a month. Once you start getting over that 50,000 silver planes, that's when you can really consider buying the one gold plane. In which case, the one gold plane has a cooldown of 24 hours, which is 1 day. And you can buy this every day for 7 days, which will give you a total of 17 gold planes for free every single week. But if you don't have a lot of silver planes, you need to save up for the 10. Be patient, save up for the 10, because otherwise you're overpaying and the only time you should be overpaying is when you're rich. If you're not rich, don't overpay. All right. Like some people have, you know, over 1 million silver planes. I think I just broke over 4 million on my main account. I'm at 4.1 million almost. Actually, no, I'm at 4.03 or 04. So I'm like at 4.04 million. So I'm over 4 million, and I've been using my silver planes on, you know, of course, getting gold planes. I've been using my silver planes on getting more contract capacity. And now you can also use your silver planes when you have planes in your fleet to go to a destination that already you're over the max limit. So I think eventually we'll see a couple planes landing that that don't have a contract, because I canceled a few contracts earlier today. And I'll show you that as well. We might not even get there, but we'll see. Hammy, we got a renewal to your Muscat. I don't know if you want to do it or not, but that renewal is now pending. I know you're here in chat, so that's why I called it out. I need to catch up in chat, so I'm like 10 minutes behind in chat. I'm trying my best, guys. Fair Pigeon, what's up? Fair Pigeon says you got the texture glitch. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes uninstalling the game and reinstalling it can help other players with that, but some players that didn't fix it. So I mean, it's worth a shot, right? Why not? But I know for some people it fixed, some people it didn't. What else? What's up, Chris Scott? Hey guys, what's going on? What did I miss? We just went over the patch notes for 3.3.1. I went over some of my opinions on how like some of the new features that are introduced are going to change the game forever in both a positive way and potentially a negative way. But I'm encouraging the community to make it clear that you like what your expectations are when it comes to setting up a contract with other players. You know, if you want a player to handle your plane daily, let them know that you're going to cancel the contract if it's not handled in 24 hours, right? That way they know. If you cancel contracts after, 1 week, let people know. If you cancel contracts after 90 days, let people know. I mean, 90 days you might not need to let people know, because that's such a long time that it's like almost understandable in my opinion. Like if somebody hasn't handled a plane in 90 days, it might be understandable, but just try to let people know how long you're gonna wait before you cancel contracts, because that'll be that's the potentially like toxic part, and we don't want this. I don't want this community to be toxic. I want people to be clear, communicate clearly. That way expectations are set and everybody's happy. What's up, Apex Fat? How's your day been? It's been a good day. It's almost noon here, almost 12 p.m., 12 o'clock, and I spent some. My mom was here to help in watching the kids. My wife, I think, is relaxing, taking some rest, right? And I'm thankful that my mom's able to come, every Saturday or almost every Saturday to help us watch the kids. That way I can stream, and that way my wife can take a break as well, and she gets to hang out with her grandchildren, right? But I love that. I'm super thankful. So I got to, and it lets me see my mom, at least once a week, and then I see her usually at church too, which is on Sundays. But at church, I'm working. It's like working, but I'm volunteering, right? I'm doing things at church, so it's not like I can just hang out and talk to my mom on church. And she's also doing stuff around the church too, helping out, doing things like with the food drive that we have and stuff like that. So, not really a place we can talk too much, but we still talk. But still, great to catch up. Darius Pilot wants more S planes on Discord giveaways. Yeah, if you guys are VIP, you guys can start VIP. You can start giveaways. And by the way, if anybody's interested, I think I enabled on Twitch a promotion for the next 2 hours. I think it is for the next 2 hours. If you want to gift 5 or more, gifted subs, it's at a discount. So I think it's 35% off or something. Twitch gave me this option to turn on a promotion. So I was like, hey, all right, let's turn it on for today. That way more people can do giveaways and stuff like that. The cool thing with the giveaways, let me show you the giveaways, by the way, because that's one of the key benefits about being a VIP. But on there's different giveaways here, and let's see if we got any active giveaways. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we got Kamikaze and Hammy. So right here, right, it tells you who's giving it away, what's the aircraft that people are giving away, and what airport, and which airports are you sending it to, right? So that's something you keep an eye on, right? Because sometimes it's a limited airport. So in this case, this is able to go to any airport of your choice as long as that plane can arrive there. And when does the giveaway end? It ends in 2 days. And then there's also a note field. So sometimes, you know, look at the notes. That might be a good place for VIPs, for you guys to put in, you know, how often do you want people to handle this plane? You know, please handle weekly, please handle daily, please handle every 3 days. Good place to take a look there, and everybody should always read the notes and which airports it can go to before you enter a giveaway. Not a lot of notes in these giveaways, which is fine, but sometimes, here we go. Hammy doing a giveaway a couple of days ago, says 2 B-77W for each winner. So that's a giveaway you might have wanted to enter, right? So just something to think about, to keep an eye on. And by the way, thank you for subscribing. First, Raptor XRR, what's up, bro? Half a year, roll on another 6 months. Thank you for 6 months. Yo, Wizzy, what's good? Thank you for 37 months at tier 3, bro. And Flamingo with the 10 gifted subs. To Airbus Fan, Gab, Mello, Biogain, Alan, Dinju, Atomic Mumu, Darius Pilot, Steamboat Willie, and Zyrox. Nice. I like that list. That's a good amount of good people. Thank you all for, you know, the subscriptions. Flamingo, thank you for 10 gifted subs. And if you guys were gifted a sub, first off, give a huge thank you to Flamingo. That's very kind of her. And make sure you join the Phat Airlines Discord and link your Twitch account to your Discord account, because what that will do, it'll give you access to our VIP channels. So if you look here, we have VIP chat and we have VIP contract requests. VIP chat is always the first chat that I look at when I go into Discord. I look at VIP chat before I look at mod chat. All right. So I look at VIP chat first, always, and then that gives you the capability of going into like bot stuff over here, and then you can do a giveaway by typing in, you know, giveaway aircraft. You can select what airport you're giving away an airplane from. You could select the plane type. So let me do a giveaway right here while we're on stream. Cause I got some planes that had to cancel. So what plane do we want to give away? Look at all these planes. Let's do a 748. What do you guys think? A 748? Yeah, let's do the 748. But where can the 748 go? All right. So we're gonna do right here. We're gonna go to airplane configuration. So 748 can go to Muscat. It can go to Bangkok. It can't go to Sydney. It can go to Nagoya. It can go to San Diego, New Orleans, IAD, St. Martin, GRU, SCL. So Sao Paulo and and Santiago de Chile. So we're gonna do a giveaway for 748. I'm gonna set it up for, let's say 20. Let's do 10 minutes. All right. So that way it gives people, in case you're not signed up for Discord, to join. Exclamation point Discord and chat if you're not in there. But what we do here, the airport is LHR. The plane type is a B748. The duration is going to be 10 minutes. So you can just type in the duration normally, and there's going to be one winner. Now here, this is where the optional stuff is. Receiving airport. I'm not picking a receiving airport. There's not a specific airport that we want it to, so I'm not going to do that. VIP only, which we're not doing either. We're going to have everybody be able to enter this giveaway. And then we have notes. I'm going to note, please note this is the stream only account, so handling will be limited. Did I type that in correctly? Please note this is a stream only account, so handling will be limited. So once I do that and I hit send, what it's going to do is it's going to start the giveaway. It's going to add a post here into the playing contract giveaways channel, which is like a feed of all the giveaways. So if you want to just take a look at which ones are active and which ones are not, this is a good channel to look at first. It gives you all the information you really need, and then you can go right here to giveaway explain, and you can enter the giveaway. So right now there's 4 people entered. This giveaway ends in 10 minutes. So that way, those of you guys who are here live on stream, you guys can join this giveaway. If you're watching the replay, you can I'm gonna have a Concord in here because it looks like it's been a while since I had a Concord. So we'll do a Concord giveaway from my main account. All right. I don't know from what airport, probably SCL, but we'll do a Concord from my main account, so that way we can get that going. And actually, let me set up that giveaway now, so that way I don't forget, because I know after stream I tend to get a little busy. I think today we're gonna go shopping, so I might end up being pretty busy. So I'm gonna set up that giveaway now, that way we can you guys can join that giveaway as well. And that giveaway I'm gonna do for 4 days, and there's gonna be one winner, and it's from SCL. So if you guys look here at the special giveaway special plane, I'm also giving away a Concorde. This way, for those of you guys who aren't live, you guys can also join this giveaway. And the great part about this is that everybody is able to win, right? Everybody has an equal chance at winning, whether you're a VIP or not. You have an equal chance at winning. So I love that, because then you know, for some players it can be a little hard for you to get a contract, right? Especially if you're newer, right? So if you're a newer player, people don't know your name, people don't know how often you handle, people don't know if you're going to quit the game anytime soon. So this is a good way for you to kind of get a contract with a VIP or myself, right? And kind of establish yourself that way. So join the giveaway. Even if you're an established player, it's just a nice way to, you know, see if you can win. I think it's awesome. And thank you to Hidden Matrix Gaming. Hidden, he made the bot. He makes bots for Discord. He's also a World of Airports player. So if you have your own Discord server and you're looking for a customized bot, talk to Hidden. Thank you, Hidden. All right, what else we got? Yo, Flamingo, thank you for gifting. Oh my gosh, you gifted 5 more subs 3 minutes ago, and then another 10 subs. Flamingo, thank you so much. That's 15, and then you gifted to Air Sri Param, and then Mr. Chicken Guy. Nice. Flamingo, thank you very much. What is that, 20? Hold on. Math is hard, and I don't like doing math live on stream, but I'm going to do it right now. So what's that? 10 plus 5 plus 10. All right, 10 plus 10. 20 plus 5, 25 plus 10, 35 plus 2, 37. Flamingo, thank you so much. I really appreciate that support. And also, you know, it's also very exciting to get more VIPs in there, because ultimately VIPs tend to be, you guys are always the most active in there, and we love to see you guys in VIP. All right. What's up, Ultra? Nice to see you. Alright guys, I'm at the bottom of chat now, so if you asked the question or I didn't, you know, acknowledge your post, now is the time to kind of just put it back into chat now. I'm not going to get upset because I'm not scrolling back up. I'm usually not a fan of spamming, right? Usually I ask that you don't spam your questions and stuff like that, but right now if I missed something that you wanted to ask, or you know, I didn't acknowledge you, feel free to just post it again in chat now. That way I could take a look and, you know, answer your questions and make sure, you know, we're good to go. Ultra asked if I handled our E190 at London. Well, let me see here. E190 is a seaplane. Ultra, I don't see, this is an alphabetical order, and there is no Ultra in here. So either it was handled already, or it's not coming. It's not coming. I forget what your old username was though before that, but I'm looking at all these usernames and none of them is ringing a bell. So it must have been handled. Will the 30% off sale, Phat, will the 30% sale off fleet planes offer come later this year? I wouldn't expect it. They haven't done a sale in like 2 or 3 years, right? So I wouldn't expect any sales, even though they have the capability. There's no reason to believe that we're going to get a sale anytime soon, right? I mean, when it does happen, it's going to be exciting and we'll post about it, but there's no indications. There's been no post, nothing like that would like even give a hint that there might be a sale coming in the future. So no, I wouldn't think about any sales happening. Flamingo is the best. I agree. Which new ground heading would be coming to next update? I'm not sure what that means, Chris. Ground heading, nah, I'm not sure what that means. I'm sorry, man. Flamingo said thanks for the subs discount. Oh yeah, thank you. I think like we'll do a couple more streams where we're going to do some discounts as well, because I've got a few more discount that I can offer as well. So we'll do some more of those. Why don't we sing happy birthday for Airseed pre-prom? I am excited for his birthday. I think it's on Monday, right? But I'm not gonna sing. Sorry. Roger said, I'm new to the game. I've never played the airport game. That I was just curious, and how do I give away planes to other people? So if you're new to the game, I wouldn't advise that you start giving away planes to other players. I would first, see if you could find a VIP that you can make a contract with. Somebody like myself or Hammy, Mert. There's a lot of VIPs in there, but people who are actively playing World at Airports, that's probably your best bet than doing a giveaway. A giveaway is kind of like a dice roll. You never know who's going to win, and you don't know how active that other player is going to be. So if you send a player to another, if you send a contract to another player, and you're a new player and you want to play every single day, or you want to play, once a week or whatever, you're also required. You kind of need the other player to play as often as you play, so that way you can get the most out of your plane. Once you start like reaching max level or reaching like the higher levels in the airports, then a daily player is not as important. Some people still carry it as very important, but for me it's not as important. But when you're a new player, you want somebody who's going to be a little bit more reliable and be there to handle your planes. So I wouldn't advise doing giveaways, but any VIP is able to do a giveaway. So you become VIP by becoming a member on YouTube, subscribing on Twitch, or you could just join as a member or as a subscriber on Discord directly. Whichever way you sign up, you can become a VIP, and what that'll end up doing is it'll give you access to do giveaways and VIP channels as well. But yeah, I wouldn't really recommend that for a new player to begin with. Okay, do we have a contract request? Yes, we got a contract request from Raptor. So let's go to offers here, Raptor. And we got Sammy with an X-plane that's probably still coming to land. So here's the 748 that we're giving away. When does this end? In 1 minute. There's 18 people joining. So we'll wait to see what that, we're gonna have to wait and see. Perfect timing, I think, because the plane just landed too, or just got to the stand. So that's great timing. Mr. Chicken Guy asks, can I give you an S plane to your LHR? Definitely. Give it to my main account, the Phat Rican, THEPHATRICAN, because that's where you're going to get the most handling. S planes are usually the last ones to land for me, but at LHR, what I do is, like on my main account, before I go to bed, I turn on all 4 managers for 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. I turn them on for, and I let them, I let them run overnight. I keep my iPad plugged in. That way I can let them run, and that way, when I come back in the morning or the next day, the planes are ready to be handled, and I can get a lot of progress done. Did the FPS drop for only Ultra? Some people are having issues. It's telling me my bitrate is like too high, which is making it like a red connection, which is kind of weird. Some people said if you go to YouTube, it's fine. DJ Bay said, I got a cargo plane from my I-80 to your LHR that I can use and love if you haven't already got it today. See, the problem, well, I'll probably get to it, yeah. But I think the issue with cargo planes is that if we're in an airport that's not Leipzig, it gets hard to handle them, right? Because Leipzig airport is the one that has a bunch of cargo stands. But even though LHR has quite a few cargo stands, it's still not as many as like how many contracts I have. So what I do is whenever I like right before I go to bed, usually we have these slot stands all full. So what I end up doing is I manually handle all of the planes at all of these stands, because these are cargo stands at LHR. That way I can get another round. But like there's 13 planes I can handle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 planes, right? And I definitely have more than 15 cargo contracts going to my LHR. So I try my best, but like, especially like at Muscat too. Muscat, you only have 3 cargo stands for all the cargo planes that you're getting a contract request from. So, and there is no option in the arrival manager, and I don't know if this is worth the suggestion or not, but like there is no option here to like prefer cargo planes or prefer passenger planes, right? So it's all the planes are still landing in the order, like the arrival sequence, or prefer favorite airplanes, or if I have them all turned off, they're all landing in the order they were assigned. So in some of these airports, I wish I could prefer cargo planes, like at LHR, at I-80, all the passenger airports, I want to prefer cargo planes. And then at Leipzig, at the cargo airport, I want to prefer passenger planes to land first. But there's no option there, so it makes it a little tough, you know? Makes it tough. Alright, we should have a winner by now for our giveaway. So for this plane right here. So let's take a look and see if we have a winner. And we do. The winner is Vin. Kron. How do you spell it? Kron. That. And it changed my writing. Kron. S-T-A-D-T. Control X. All right. What airport do you want this to? Is my question to you. So at Vin, what airport do you want this to? All right, and as soon as we get a response, we'll send it over the contract request. Oh, check your fleet plane tabs. I got you. So if it's at 10 out of 10, which I think is what you said, it's hearted. Right? Oh, here it is, right here. Still not landed, but it's hearted, so it's going to be scheduled to land soon. I think the problem it might be. Let me see here. We have prefer favorite airplanes, and then we got the size turned on. So yeah, it should be landing soon. Good. Wait, that's confusing to me. Well, maybe there's no stand available or something. I don't know. Go to my airplanes. E190. Oh, right here. Oh no, that's not it. Or is this it? Oh yeah, this is going to your Innsbruck now. It's taxiing to the runway, so it's heading off because it's at 10 out of 10. So when you handle it at Innsbruck, it'll be you'll be finished, and then I have one more handling to finish it off. Muscat, you got it. Let's send this over to Muscat. All right, so what I was saying before, another way I spend my silver planes now is on, contracts, right? So when you're sending a contract and you send it to any of these destinations or a player airport, you hit find connection, and if you don't know a specific player, then you have these limitations. You have it takes up one LHR contract slot, which is this up here, but it also takes up one Muscat contract slot, which is this right here. You have a contract capacity of 3 passenger planes and 5 cargo planes that can go from LHR to Muscat. So once you start exceeding that number, or once you're at that number, 3 out of 3, then it costs you like 1,500 to make it 4 out of 3, and then to make it 1 over the limit. And then it costs you 7,500 to make it 2 over the limit. I forget what it is to get at 3 or more, because I don't have too many that are at like that many additional contract capacity. But that's another way I'm spending my silver planes, is by adding more planes to the random connection for these player contracts. So awesome. Thank you for the quick acceptance too. Mr. Chicken Guy plays daily. Roger has a question. How do I buy airplanes in other airports? Because I'm new to the game. I don't know what I'm doing. So in order to buy airplanes in other airports, you do need to have gold planes. So there's multiple ways to get gold planes. The easiest way is just by buying them, right? But if you're new to the game, you probably want to think about whether or not you want to play this game long term before you start spending real money on it, especially as a free to play game, right? So you might want to wait. Now with airports, I don't usually recommend buying airports with gold planes, because you can unlock almost every single airport for free. The only airport you can't unlock are generic airports. Right now we only have one generic airport, which is CNN, and that one you can only unlock it using gold planes. It's not a fully fleshed out airport. It's not detailed like the airports that we see now, like LHR and all the main airports that we have in the game. But it is another airport we have. Now, in every single airport other than CNN, if you reach a certain level at that airport, you're gonna then unlock the next airport. So at LHR, once you reach level 81, then you can unlock Sydney for free. And every single airport has that option, which is pretty cool. So that's not something I typically recommend, but I understand it could be a little boring at first to only be playing one airport at a time, and kind of slow. So you do you. But if you're gonna spend your gold planes, there's a lot of other things I recommend it on, like getting the premium pass at some of these airports, because then you get additional rewards, which include free airplanes you can use in your fleet. You get some of these airports give you liveries that you can use on those fleet planes. You get extra wallers, you get extra handling crew, you get extra silver planes. There's a lot of extras that you get with that premium pass purchase. But if you want to buy a plane, you click on the fleet menu down here and you go to offers. You go to configure and buy, and then you can look at all the planes. You can click on the lock button so you can see all the planes you don't have unlocked, and then you can go ahead and find a plane that you want to unlock, and you click on it. Now, because I have a default livery set on, and default colors, it's gonna go to my default livery and default colors. But otherwise, what you could do, you could see every plane comes with Snow White for free. Snow White doesn't cost anything. So right here, the plane would cost you 9 gold planes, and you also need to have 54,000 wallers for the E195 in order to unlock it. Once you unlock it, the airplane is available for purchase at every single airport, but you're only able to buy it at that one airport. So I'm in LHR right now. If I was to unlock and purchase this plane right now, this plane would be available for use only in LHR. I can't bring it to any other airport. But that's how you do it. Then once that plane lands, then you go, then you assign it to another player, or you send it to no specific player. And excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, then you can send it to another player or to no specific player, and then you can have a plane. Contract planes make you more money than your fleet planes make you more money than non-fleet planes. So it's always a good idea, especially whenever you can, to get your own fleet planes. Which is why I think the premium pass is probably the way to go, because you get so many fleet planes added that you don't have to pay wallers for. You don't have to unlock using gold planes, and that helps you get more wallers in your airport, which will then help you unlock more stands, help you unlock more equipment, and help you just level up faster. What's up, Snow Yak? Emmy said, I accepted the contract you sent to my Muscat. Something seems wrong. That contract was under maintenance, 15-minute maintenance. Voita Aviation asked, how do you play on PC? You don't play. There's no official way to play on PC, and I don't even recommend playing on PC. I'm not playing on PC. I'm playing on an iPad Pro, which is connected to my computer using a capture card. So I'm playing on an iPad. See here, iPad. I'm playing on an iPad. People do play on a PC using like an Android emulator. I think the most popular one is BlueStacks, but there are a bunch of other emulators you could use. I'm not a big fan of recommending them because sometimes when a new update comes out, there could be issues with it because the developers develop for mobile first, and then once they find out that there are bugs on PC, or on emulators, then they try to address them. Touchdown says there's a glitch at my BKK. It refuses to open. Uninstall the game, reinstall it, or close the game and reopen it first. That might help you out. Mr. Chicken Guy asked, Phat, do I get the Bari Airport Premium Pass? Yes. Innsbruck, Bari, Prague, Nagoya, and St. Martin are pretty much instant buys for me. Those premium passes are all less than 30 gold planes, and you get so much with that. You get free airplanes that you don't have to buy with wallers. You get extra handling crew. Extra handling crew is key because that makes your gaming sessions a lot shorter at that airport because you can handle more planes at once. The more handling crew you have, the more planes you can handle at once, and that means you can then go on to another airport, or just stop playing World of Airports for a little bit and take a break. But having more handling crew is definitely worth it, because if you were to buy more handling crew, it would cost you 45 gold planes just to get a 5 extra permanent handling crew. So 100% worth it at those airports. Innsbruck, Bari, Prague, Nagoya, and St. Martin all have really affordable premium passes. Even CNN, I forgot CNN. CNN, which is the generic airport, also has a very affordable premium pass and worth it as well. Hockey fan said you can value all the items in the premium passes and determine what said value means to you. However, every premium pass offers more than their cost. That's 100% right? So some people don't value the handling crew at all. Like they don't. I don't know why, but some people don't care about handling crew. I care very much about handling crew. But if you don't care about handling crew, then you look at everything else you get with the premium pass. Look at the currency you get for free, 15,000. You get LHR, you get a Concorde, right? You get an A388 that you can only use at LHR, but still, A388 is like 400,000 wallers. And I forget how many gold planes it costs to unlock, but you get this one plane for free. You get 10,000 silver planes right here. Dude, that's 10 gold planes, almost not instantly, but that you get towards, your weekly limit. You get some liveries. You get a lot of things with this. I know it's funny at these later levels, right? Because then all of a sudden you go from, again, like a Concorde and an A359 to getting a CRJ9, right? That's because of the way like updates came out, but definitely worth it in every airport. Peace out, Darius Pilot. Abdullah said, I hope they add WoA on Microsoft Store so we can play on PC as well. So the problem that I know so many people want that as well, and I'm one of them. I would love to play World of Airports on PC. The thing is that the developer kit that they use, which I think is like Google Firebase or something like that, doesn't have the capability of porting games out to PC. So it's not able to port games out to PC. Therefore, it's not possible. Once that happens, then most likely I think it's going to go on there. Raptor XRR says, I know you usually handle small planes last, but my DH-8B has been at your LHR on Phat Empire for 112 days. Just let you know, no rush. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna land today or not. I'm doing my best to handle like these LHR planes today. We did start at like almost 300 planes waiting to land, and now we're at 164. So I don't know if those planes are gonna land or not. And I preloaded a bunch of planes too. But now we're at the point where all the preloaded planes are pretty much done handling, and now we're just waiting. We're waiting for planes to land naturally, essentially, which is a little bit slower. It would be cool if there was like some kind of fast forward feature in the game, right? Like let the planes move at 2x the speed. It would maybe cost you a few gold planes or silver planes or wallers, and you can double the speed. So that way planes, land and take off at twice as fast, or maybe, even faster for more gold planes or silver planes or wallers. That way, like in airports like LHR, where you have so many stands. Now, that would only cause the planes to move faster. It wouldn't cause, it should not cause the handling to be faster. The handling still needs to be slow. See you later, Air Supram. What does the speed up button on managers do? There is no... Oh, there's no speed up button, but if you're talking about the speed up mild, so you have options to speed it up to mild, moderate, or fast. It's a marginal difference. I think in the previous version before 3.0, it used to say 2%, 4%, or 6%. And if you look at the difference, it's like almost not noticeable. Over a long period of time, like we're playing for 3 hours, it's noticeable, right? Like you can handle a few more planes in that same time period. But if you're only playing for 30 minutes, it's barely noticeable. But on this account, I also don't have a ton of silver planes, so I don't want to spend like a lot of silver planes on the tower manager, because I want to save up my silver planes so I can get free gold planes. That's my #1 priority, getting free gold planes. So I do spend my silver planes still on tower managers, but I want to make sure I'm spending my silver planes on gold planes as the priority. Abdullah said, I know that everyone can't afford PC, but not everyone can afford mobile as well. Some people used to play other games in Gaming Zone, so then they could play a game in Gaming Zone. Yeah. It's really, like I said, it's not up to the developer. Well, I guess it is up to the developers, right? But the current kit that they use doesn't support PC, right? So it would require a whole rework of the game, and they've already reworked the game. I think this is two or three times already. So I don't know I don't know if that's something they would do again, because like one of the times that they reworked it, we didn't get an update for like a year and a half almost. The good thing is they were communicating with us, right? So it's not like we were ghosted, but we weren't getting updates for a long time, and a lot of people were upset about it, understandably, right? But they were still like kind about it. But man, it was a rough period of time waiting for it. Can I talk about the best strategy for HKG? I'm not even sure. What do you mean by best strategy though? Do you mean like how to level it up fast, or like how to like level up your SCL so you can get Hong Kong when it comes out? I hope the guys work on MSY and Sydney to make all their runways playable. So all the runways in every single airport that are usable in the game, except maybe Prague. Prague doesn't have like that second runway is not usable because they intersect. But I think what you mean is for landing and departures. If you played CNN recently, CNN has this new thing where they have like the runway direction changes based on the wind in real life. So when you first load into the game, the runway direction might be different each time you load into the game, and that runway direction is influenced by what the current runway that's in use based on the wind, right? So I know World of Airport developers said that they're going to be working on implementing that feature in all the airports. So what that might end up doing is opening up some more runways for different use, right, based on the wind. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, right now, like Sydney and MSY, you have like one runway for arrivals and then two runways for departures, right? Both of those airports. So one runway, even though both airports have two runways, right? So one runway is used for both arrivals and departures, which kind of can make things a little bit slower. So Flamingo wants to know best airport playing style. Something I'm gonna have to think about. You know, I really don't even like consider it, even though we probably could, right? Like we have let's see, do I have another? I don't, but you could go right here and we could go to like an let's go to a 77W, and you can go into reference destination and we can find Hong Kong. Now can I find Hong Kong? Hong Kong. So you can actually go in here right now, and I don't typically do this often, but you can go into your airport, you can select the plane, and you can find the airport right now, and you can really plan ahead to figure out which is the best plane, which are the best configurations to do it. I don't really like normally try to optimize for the best configurations. I just send I just send any plane as long as it can get there. But like for example, you could start sending a B-77W to Hong Kong now. Yes, when you do send it, it's going to cost you wallers because it's not a playable airport right now. But like for example, a 77W from LHR to HKG, you're able to send that right now, and it says the profit per round trip $35.93. Now, can we beat that? Probably not. Let's see, can we beat that? $35.93. Can we beat that? Oh, 37.11. So like I did just beat it, which is pretty cool. So So you can kind of go in there and find the best configurations, which is like the best plane. HKG, I think, is supposed to have a lot of like larger plane stands, so I think that's going to be exciting. And it's kind of close to BKK, to CNN, kind of close to Nagoya as well. So you might be able to get some C-size planes over to that airport as well. But sending planes to BKK is going to be easy because there's always going to be a higher demand, right? So sending a plane from one airport to BKK should be a lot easier than, and you might not be able to send certain planes from HKG to like CNN, which is like a low demand airport, right? So we really can't plan for that because I don't know what the demand is going to look like on that end. But from every airport in the game, you should be able to send to, well, I don't know what the distance is, but based on the demand alone, Hong Kong should have high demand. So you should be able to send to every airport to HKG as long as the plane can reach that distance. What I just said, no rush, but can you answer me about stuff that Gio said? No. Why am I going to go into that? That makes no sense, man. If you want to talk about that, you talk about it in Discord or where it happened. That does not belong here. I'm not about talking about World of Airports Discord drama on my stream, on my Discord, anything like that. Anything that happens in the World of Airports Discord or with an individual, you talk to that individual and you talk about that Discord server in where that belongs, not here. That is not what this channel is about. Mr. Chinga guy said, I go to school, so I'm online very often. Nice. I'll just say, I was gonna say it doesn't make much sense. Road Bridge said, Phat Airlines, have you played the new airport yet? Yeah, so on my main account, I've been playing the new airport CNN maybe once a week, every once in a while. There's just so many airports to play, and then I have so many contracts that I focus mainly on my main airports, which is BKK, LHR, and IAD. My three main airports. I play those airports daily, so that's my first priority. And then if I have extra time, then I go into the other airports. But sometimes it could be sometimes I don't start playing World of Airports until like 8 p.m. So it's like LHR alone can take me 4 or 5 hours to handle, right? So it's like sometimes I just don't have time to go to the other airports. Some days I can play all day, in which case then I have time to go to other airports and enjoy a few other things. The cool thing is I got a new device, so I don't know if you guys are playing World of Airports right now, but if you have contracts with my SCL, for example, I've been sending back your planes all stream. I've been playing 2 accounts. Abdullah said, by the way, wind feature makes the game more realistic. I love this feature. Hope they add this on all airports. They will add it on all airports, but a generic airport like CNN, kind of easy to implement it on because there's not a lot of taxi logic they have to change. But then you look at IAD, where it's you have 4 runways and all these different type of planes, depending upon where they go from the stands or what stands they're assigned to, all have to take a different path. Could be quite a monster for them to rework, and it's almost like working on a new airport for them, because they would have to figure out the logic, what's the best path, what's the path that they actually take in real life, right? Things like that. See you later, fleeting negligence. Thanks for being here, man. I don't think I said hi to you either, so I'm sorry about that. Ferris said, talking about HKG, I'm willing to send up to 40 A21NXs to different players at HKG when the airport is released. Nice. That's pretty awesome. I know, when it comes to new airports, so when HKG comes out, and HKG is going to be a fully fledged airport. So I know when it comes to new airports, especially fully fledged airports, I plan on playing those airports daily as well. So when SCL came out, I was playing SCL every single day, but now I'm max level. So now I'm max level. There's no rush for me to play every single day anymore. because once we get like a release date, or we get closer to December, because the only release date we have right now for HKG is before the end of the year, right? And actually the end of the year is kind of close. It's like 6 weeks away, right? So I used to be banking planes. Banking planes meant that if a plane was at like 9 out of 10, if it was not my plane, or if it was my plane, it was at 10 out of 10, I wouldn't land that plane. But I decided it caused me a lot of problems, because I would end up having to schedule, like, manually assign every single plane. So I decided to scrap that idea and just play the game normally, because I was banking planes so that way I wouldn't have to pay gold planes in order to unlock the next airport. So that way I could play it with you guys on day one, and I can just unlock it, you know, by using XP, by, you know, having a bunch of these planes, and getting the XP needed in order to reach those levels and unlock the plane, or unlock the airport for free. But then I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, that's dumb. Dumb for me, not for everybody, but for me. Like, if I don't have the XP to unlock the airport, I should just unlock it using gold planes, because ultimately I want to make sure I showcase the new airport as soon as it comes out. And I have to get over my own thought that, like, why buy something when you can unlock it for free, right? That's the advice I give to everybody here. Like, if you can get an airport for free, why buy it? But in my case, I'm streaming for you guys, so that's the number one important thing. So most likely what I'm going to do is just unlock HKG immediately using gold planes, and we'll play it immediately as well, instead of having to play, you know, some SCL for a little bit, have to, you know, level it up, reach that next level, which could be, you know, 1,000 XP. Who knows how much XP you're going to need. Now, for all you guys, I would probably say, yeah, bank planes, save them up. That way you don't have to pay gold planes unnecessarily, especially if you're like a free-to-play player. But because, you know, because I stream for you guys, I thought, I was thinking about it, and like, that's kind of silly that I'm like trying to, you know, not spend my gold planes, just so I could unlock it for free. Doctor said, thanks for the gifted sub. Nice. Yeah, thanks to Flamingo. Darius Pilot wants to know who wants a 752 from Bari. Mr. Chicken Guy sent an S-plane. Nice. I'll be in that airport, LHR, in a few minutes, I think. Flamingo said, I think I'll be using Flamingo Express Concords again for HKG BKK. For HKG. BKK to HKG is 10 minutes. Nagoya to HKG is 15 minutes. And Muscat to HKG is 34 minutes. Sydney to HKG is 44 minutes. And all those airports you can send a Concorde. Let's go. I'm excited about Sydney, because there's not like that gives us a little bit more variety. I like that. That's pretty cool, actually. Thank you for sharing that, Flamingo. And even on this account, we're gonna poll when that comes out, because on this account, I'm gonna go to main menu real quick. But in this account, we only have up to Sydney unlocked, right? So it might make sense for us to unlock HKG on our stream only account as well, using gold planes, because right here we got Innsbruck, we got Bari, we got Prague, right? So then we're locked out at IAD, Nagoya. We have San Diego because I bought it for gold planes, and now we have Muscat. So then we have two more airports here to unlock. But over here we have two more airports to unlock. Over here at Sydney, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 airports to unlock. So it's going to be a while before we even get to SCL or GRU, or even New Orleans, right? So it might make sense for this account for us to unlock HKG. Oops. It might make sense on this account for us to unlock HKG. That way we can make some progress at different airports. Again, though, that then adds another airport into the mix, into the rotation, which might cause delays in these other airports. But that's something that you guys kind of understand when you send a contract or accept a contract from Phat Empire. So we got an M-plane contract from Euroland. Sorry about the delay, Euroland. We got one from Sammy, sorry about the delay, and one from Panoramic Key. Yeah, sorry about that delay. I thought you meant you sent the contract to my main account, not to this account. So my bad. I saw your post and I didn't think about it being on this account. Chicken. Yo, what's up, Phantom Zero? I haven't logged on in a while. Yeah, so I mean, one thing. Hope you come back and play some World of Airports. A lot of your contracts might end up being canceled though, because World of Airports introduced a new feature, which lets you know how long has it been since that plane has been seen at that player's airport. So like right here, that's 32. Even right here, this plane right here has been at Mertz St. Martin for 32 minutes. How is he not handling it instantly? Nah, I'm joking, Mert. I think it's late for Mert anyways, but it'll let you know how long it's been at someone's airport. Here's one from to Mike, or from Mike, that's been at Leipzig for 33 days, right? So that's a new feature. It'll tell you how long an airplane has been at somebody's airport. Here's Arya May's A332F at their IAD, been there for 109 days. So you can see both your contract planes, and you can also see your own fleet as well. So you'll see over here, I got this plane going to Mert, or that's at Mertz Muscat for 47 minutes. Right here we have this A346 that's been at Catalan IAD for 266 days. So for me, I'm saying for now 180 days is a good amount of time. So I'm going to cancel some contracts that are over 180 days, because I think if a contract hasn't been handled in 180 days or more, most likely they're never playing that airport again, or they quit the game, right? So there's a lot of different there's some reasons for that, but I think that's a good threshold for me to cancel the contract and not feel too bad about it. So yeah, it might be a good idea to see if you can play some World of Airports, because that's going to really change the way we play World of Airports, you know, and do player contracts. A lot of players are probably going to be looking to see if you're handling the plane. Some players are going to want daily play. Some players are going to want weekly. Some people, like even here in the chat, were saying like, if they don't handle my plane in 90 days, then I'll cancel it, which is, I think, more than enough time. I think I'm going to stick with 180 days and go from there. Ultra asked, why don't you bank planes, land many of them, handle them, and then you could literally unlock it in 3 minutes? Because it ruined my experience on playing the airport before the airport, it ruins my experience right now with playing that airport. That's why I don't want to bank planes anymore. It doesn't make playing this airport, it doesn't make playing that airport fun for me anymore, because then I have to manually assign every single plane for landing, avoiding every single plane that has a 10 out of 10 handling, which isn't fun for me, especially since I have like 300 contracts. So scrolling through 300 contracts and then having to click every single one so you could see if it's at 10 out of 10, and then once you have like 50 of them that are at 10 out of 10, then you just keep clicking over the same ones over and over again, and it really just was not fun. So I decided I'm gonna scrap that. For you guys, I mean, if I wasn't streaming, because I always try my best to stream the new airport on the day it releases, right? Or as soon as it comes out. That way you guys can see the airport and then make a decision for yourself whether or not you want to unlock it, right? And you can see the rewards. I mean, a lot of the stuff you can see without having to go into the airport itself. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Because now I'm looking at other streamers that play other games, and they just buy the stuff that they need, right? They don't, even though there's ways you can get stuff for free, they just buy it. So I got to look at like these other big streamers and what they do to kind of help me make decisions on how I should approach this. Even though I don't know if World of Airports will be like as big as a game as some of these other games streamers that I watch, there's still a good model to follow, because there's reasons why that they're a big streamer. Yeah, they might have a bigger game, but they also do things that people enjoy, right? And by me spending, you know, too much time playing SEL when everybody wants to see HKG, it's probably not that great for you guys. Yeah, my bad, chicken. I didn't realize it was this account. My bad. Yo, what's up, Booney? Why'd you get an error when canceling? So I think what Hammy was telling me is that those errors will come up when the how do I word it? When a player has quit the game. So I think if the contract is too old, it'll kind of error, or if the player changed their in-game name. I'm gonna report it to the developers directly. Like, I'm not even going to go to the forum. I'm going to send it to their way, because apparently, well, I think there's already a forum post on it too about people not being able to do it, but I'm going to let them know that I'm also experiencing the bug, and that way they can work with me directly on seeing if like if one of their patches fixes it before they release it to the general public. If they want to do that, it doesn't matter to me, right? See you later, Zyrox. Thanks for coming back, man, and congrats on getting that gifted sub. Hope to see you on Discord. Which is better, BKK or LHR? Tell me, please. I mean, it's really all up to in your opinion, right? Both airports are pretty great. LHR has more slots, more stands, right? So some people would say it's better, but LHR only has 2 runways, and one of the runways is only used for departures, and one of the runways is only used for departures, right? One runway is only used for arrivals, and one runway is only used for departures, right? So some people might make that worse. And then at BKK, you have 3 runways. 3 of them are used for arrivals, and 2 of them are used for departures, right? So that's one thing. That's a difference there. BKK has a lot fewer destinations that you could send to other players, so that might make it less appealing to some people. Whereas LHR, you have all of the Europe airports, and you have pretty much every other airport in the game except for Sydney that you could send an airplane to. So that might make LHR a better airport for you. BKK, you could also send to almost every single airport in the game. I think every single airport in the game from BKK, but you have to have large or extra large planes. So they're both pretty cool airports, just in their own different way. And it really depends on what you want to get out of the airport. Like if you have a lot of C planes or M planes unlocked, then you probably want to do LHR. If you have X or L planes unlocked, then you probably you could do either one. LHR with the 2 runways makes it a little bit slower to handle, as you can see here. Like once I already have all these planes that I pre-landed, they're already landed. It takes a while, you know, before these planes really get landed and I can start handling them. I'm usually handling them a lot faster. Like I only have 10 planes on the ground right now, but I have 147 planes waiting to land. Like I think like 5 minutes ago I had 152 planes waiting to land. So it's not fast at all. But that's why I have the delivery manager turned on for 10 minutes, and then I turn on the approach manager for a few minutes, so that way these planes can land on their own even when I'm not playing. But yeah, it's really really up to you, like what you want from the game. So if you tell me what you want from the game, then maybe I can kind of give you more better guidance instead of some generic guidance right there. Chronos said, my nephew was playing my account, told him to cancel all planes pending for 30 days or more. Had planes at 10 out of 10 also canceled. That's sad. That is sad, yeah. But I mean, after 30 days or more, kind of understandable, I think, right? But still feels bad to have to do that. Feels bad. Can you give me a tip of what I should do? I'm at Bari. So at Bari, there are those two, what's it called? D and E stands in the middle. You want to try to unlock that stand as soon as you can, because that stand is what it's going to do. It's going to get those planes that you handle there are going to give you more XP and more silver planes, right? And more wallers, because the larger the plane, typically the larger the payment that you get. The problem with getting those stands though is that you're not going to get like a contract for one of those planes until like you reach international status. So you're going to have to find players to send you planes, which shouldn't be too hard, but it can be tough if you're a new player, because some people want to play with people who are playing daily. Now we have this, indicator in the game that lets people know how long it's been since you last played. So maybe that'll open up more people to wanting to play with new players, because now it's easy to keep track if they're actually playing every single day or how often they promise to play. But the D and E stand, especially the E stand, is going to make you the most money, the most XP, the most silver planes. So that's where I would focus my efforts on getting. But don't forget about the small planes. Small planes are great filler in between, but you want to play like 30 minutes per day. That way those planes can go to their destination, and then you come back, and then when you play the next day, you'll get XP every like 10 days or something. So pretty good. Planes on the way. Thank you, chicken. That fifth says, I feel like your stream is more informational. That's exactly what I try to do. There's a lot of YouTube videos and things like that about World of Airports of people just playing the game. And for me, like what I want it to be and what I am is someone who's going to give like information, tutorials, guidance on how to play the game. Because when I first started playing World of Airports, I was a little confused, and I joined like the World of Airports Discord, and people were giving me advice on how to play better, and then I got better. But then also, I noticed the same questions were being asked over and over again. So those same people who ended up helping me just kind of stopped answering those questions, right? So that's why I was like, okay, there's a gap there. People need help, but like, of course, people get tired of answering the same questions over and over again. And me, I used to like repair computers. I used to work for the Geek Squad here in the US, and it's something in Best Buy that they help repair computers. So I'm very used to being patient and explaining things to different people, and trying to, like, if something doesn't make sense, trying to approach it a different way. Even at my current job, sometimes I'm talking to executives, like the vice presidents, and sometimes I'm talking to senior analysts, and the messaging that you say to each of those type of individuals is very different. So that's my strength. So I'm trying to just utilize my strength, and that's the kind of videos I enjoy watching when I'm watching other YouTube content. I'm not usually watching gameplay. I'm usually watching so I can learn something and like get better. So that's what I want. That's what I want to be. That's why I do what I do. Mr. Chickenside would like it to come back by the end of the stream. No promises, man. I still have 140 planes left to land, and we have not had any seaplanes land yet, I think. Or no seaplanes really, except for the hearted ones, and no B planes. I don't know if that's gonna happen, because usually, what it seems like, typically the way I estimate how much time I need is each of these planes that are waiting to land at LHR probably need about 1 minute. Right? So now I could manually assign planes because I don't have the delivery manager on. But like, look at this. This is at 9 out of 10. Who's this going to? Mercurial Justice. I know they play actively, so I'm going to schedule this one to land. Hockey fan said BKK is a SP farm. Nice. DJ Bay said, I'm about 2 weeks into BKK. I like it. Wondering if it'll flow better than Muscat for me. Possibly. What's my main account? My main account is the Phat Rican. THEPHATRICAN. Booney, you play for 1 hour per day. Nice. What's up, Jean Marco? Said, hey Phat, according to you, when 3.4 will be released before Christmas? Well, it's not according to me. I am not a developer. I don't have any influence on when the updates get released. But based on one of the dev blogs, I think it was dev blog 29. Let me see here. Hold on. Was it 29? I think it was 29. It says here, one of the world's largest airports planned for the release at the end of the year. We'll start teasing. We're sure many of you will quickly guess which one it is. So that doesn't mean before Christmas. It says before the end of the year. So that's December 31st is the end of the year, right? So that's what we're hoping for. But sometimes these things have delays too, right? Because there's bugs that can happen. There are bugs that happen with the scheduling feature that, like, even like through bug testing, they we couldn't find, they couldn't find. So there are things like that. A lot of people are thinking before Christmas because we've gotten updates right before Christmas before in the past. But that just because we got it in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen that way now. This is more like what they're hoping for more than a promise, I would say. But it seems like it's going to be possible because we've gotten, I mean, if we look at, I think their Instagram, do I have their Instagram open? Yes. If we look at the World of Airports Instagram, they posted some images here, right? So we got new airplanes coming and the airplane models. I think, where was it? In the dev blog? It must have been in a dev blog or dev blog. Let's go to a dev blog. Dev blog version 30. Go up here. I think they posted images of HKG. Yes, they posted images of HKG. So I mean, anytime we could see some progress being made, that means it's like it's looking more and more promising that we are likely to get it this year, right? But there are things out of their control and out of people's control that we never know when it's going to actually happen. Their goal, though, that they've said publicly, is before the end of the year. But it's not according to me. I don't make any of those promises. Never will, because I am not a developer. I don't make anything for the game other than videos and streams. Mingo said, I love Best Buy. Nice. Yeah, I love visiting Best Buy and just window shopping. But that's like the biggest problem Best Buy has always had, is that people window shop. It'll be there in 36 minutes. Gotcha. Chrono said sent you a seaplane. Oh, let's take a look. Got Easy Nuts with an L plane contract. I think that's this one. Yep. You got M plane contract from Yoda. Cool name. Then Brune Air. You do have to do a redemption on Twitch in order for me to accept it on this account. All the other, my other account, my main account, or my free-to-play account, I would advise you to send to my main account, because my free-to-play account, I'm not really playing too much. But on my main account, you can always just send it to my main account, where I play every single day. Effie says, sad that the game is still not working on BlueStacks. Are you playing on mobile? So yeah, I mean, World of Airports is not officially supported on BlueStacks. That's why I never recommend anybody really play it on BlueStacks. People will still recommend it to you, but I think that's a wrong move. Because World of Airport developers, they make the game mobile first, right? So they're looking to make sure that the game works on a mobile device. because that's the tools that they have is for mobile. I play on an iPad Pro, so that's why you see like a mouse here, because I have a mouse connected to my iPad Pro. But yeah, it's sad, but that's just what happens with the emulators, because there's a lot of more things happening with an emulator than people realize, because it also has to do with like sometimes your computer specs, and there's a lot of emulator settings that you can update, which I'm not even familiar with, because there's too many problems that happen on emulators. I don't really even bother. Two point 2 came out on December 17th. Interesting. I think we got like an update on December 24th one time. They'll probably take time off during the holidays, so it should come before. Dude, if they release an update before the holidays and there's some bugs in the game, they're gonna have to work. That's just how it is. Like, that's just exactly, I mean, that's what the expectations are, right? People are running into bugs in the game. You want those bugs to get fixed. And I know people also want, you know, to people enjoy their holidays, but that's just the nature of what they do. If they release an update now, like today, and there's a major bug in there, they're gonna have to work to get that fixed as soon as possible. Because what's going to end up happening is they're going to get 1-star reviews. People are going to uninstall the game. People are not going to return, right? There's long-term consequences to like taking some time off, especially if there's some issues with the game. Mr. Chicken Guy said, Phat, how many streams do you think it'll take? It'll probably take 100 streams for us to finish our contract, because I do not play LHR every single day, every single stream. I do not, sometimes not all the planes are able to land in a single stream. Also, yeah, I mean, those are the two main problems I have. So that's why I don't usually recommend people who really want to see their planes coming back frequently to make a contract with my stream only account. I always recommend you do a contract with my main account if you really want your planes to come back, because I'm not guaranteeing any handling time on this account. I'm just playing casually on this account, right? I'm playing once a week for maybe 2 or 3 hours, maybe sometimes even 4 hours some days, but there's no promises here. The planes that I do heart are the ones that are close to finishing. So the ones that are at 7 out of 10 handling, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, those are the planes that I'm hearting, because those are ones that's going to help me get more silver planes, because my number one goal is to trade in 10,000 silver planes so I can get 10 gold planes for free every single week. But because I only play once per week, it's really tough to kind of achieve that goal. But that's all I got to tell you, man. I know you really want your plane to come back, but I'm not guaranteeing anything. I can't. It's impossible. And I have limited time to play. So if that doesn't work for you, cancel the contract, send it to my main account, and you're going to be good to go. But otherwise, you might have to just wait, which is what a lot of people have to do. And if that doesn't work for them, cancel the contract. Bruno said, unless hot fixes are needed, product teams can plan a release with known bugs and can be done post-holiday. Speaking as a product manager of AI products, nice. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes bugs are found, though, that aren't known, right? And sometimes they could be a little bit more urgent. For example, I think one time there was a bug that happened on certain Android phones, and that caused a lot of problems that they had to urgently fix. I think there was an Android only problem with some of these graphics not appearing, like in the contract cards, where there was like a white box around these cards on some of them. So that was an Android only bug that they had to hot fix. So, but I'm not sure if they knew about it ahead of time or not, because all I do is inform them of any bugs that I run into, but I don't have insight into like what their bug board looks like. John Marco said, "Yeah, I asked you about the release only to have your point of view. I know you're not the dev, but you know you would. I definitely, if I had an opportunity to be part of the dev team, I totally would. Yeah, I'm not even joking. That's not even a joke. If I had an opportunity to become a part of the development team, I totally would take that opportunity. 100% would. You know, I mean, I think what the best bet would be for me to be like a content creator, right? Still for them, make tons of videos, tutorials, things like that. I would totally do that for them, or whatever else they needed. You know, just be like their community manager. That's another thing I could do, right? I already look into the community so much, so I would 100% do that if they wanted me to do that. Even better if it could replace my job, right? But that'd be hard to do. But yeah, totally would do it. Love to be part of the team. Are you streaming on Twitch too? Yeah, so we stream on 2 platforms right now, on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. I was at one point considering doing Facebook as well, because I know there's a lot of active groups on Facebook. The problem is, when I first checked, you needed like 100 followers on Facebook, and I wasn't at 100 followers on Facebook because I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but so I don't really use it too often, which is like my fault, right? I shouldn't let my own personal, beliefs or being a fan or not of Facebook get in the way of being where people need help. But anyways, if I reach 100, well, I'm gonna check again. I have to check again. But once I reach 100 followers, then I know I have the capability to do live streams on Facebook, and then I can do a live stream on Facebook at the same time too. I was thinking about other platforms as well, but I don't know how much World of Airports audience there is on other platforms either, or how many people would go to another platform other than Twitch and YouTube already. The cache memory bug, major headache. Yeah, the white box. I remember JD, one of the developers, went into the World of Airports moderator chat and explained it to the moderators there. Because apparently somehow the Android download only downloaded a portion of the game instead of downloading the entire game, therefore causing some kind of weird cache bug, which then caused that problem to appear. But when those bugs appear, people see it and then they uninstall the game, or they rate it 1 star or something like that, which has long-term effects, right? Could you please give tips for LHR and IAD? So LHR, I mean, all these airports have the same foundation, right? I forget, LHR, I have a couple of videos. I have many videos, maybe 4 videos of me starting up LHR brand new, right? So at LHR though, I mean, the biggest thing I would advise is, because you get these stands right here, I think for free. And because now you have to buy all the lower sizes on a stand before you can purchase the larger size, you kind of have to work your way to a D or an E stand. So I would try to get an E stand as soon as you can, and then get an E contract from another player. That's going to help you with XP. That's going to help you with Wallers as well. At LHR, I think you really benefit a lot from having player contracts, because there's so many destinations that are nearby that you can, if you're playing with somebody who's actively leveling up Prague, for example, you could probably get 2 or 3 handlings during that same, one gaming session essentially. But what else? You want to get those larger planes. The larger planes are just going to get you more Wallers, but it's going to be expensive to kind of unlock those larger planes in the beginning. LHR, has a premium pass that's kind of expensive. IAD has the most expensive premium pass, so it's a little harder to recommend it. But I know at LHR, for example, you get a lot of handling crew and you get extra contract capacity, so that helps out a lot. And then in the beginning levels, you also get a ton of you get a lot of planes that you could use immediately. So you get the E190 that you could use, you get the A319. So all these planes here that you can buy or you can redeem and use will help you with leveling up, right? Because and getting more wallers, because planes in your fleet make you more wallers. It's a lot harder to recommend it unless you're buying your gold planes, because 110 gold planes or 80 gold planes is kind of hard to come up with for anybody, really. That's like what, 7 weeks of playing for 80 gold planes, but definitely worth it in my opinion. LHR, get those nearby contracts in the beginning. Get those contracts from Bari, Innsbruck, Prague, Leipzig, you know, get from those European airports. You know, at IAD, you can really benefit from some small contracts to St. Martin. Play with somebody who's leveling up St. Martin. Send them some small planes, or ask them to send you some small planes, because especially in the beginning levels, small planes are easy to handle. Then you start getting some medium planes, which you could send to like New Orleans or San Diego, and then the larger planes, the same thing. You want to get E planes there, but when you're getting E planes unlocked, you need to get player contracts, because you're gonna have to wait till your international level before you can really get those E planes coming in consistently. Stephanie said, I would love to create liveries for the game. I create liveries for MSFS and it's fun. Well, that is a feature that's going to come out eventually. It's on like the roadmap. Well, it's on the planning board, and they've mentioned it publicly that custom liveries are going to be coming out, where there's a lot of customization opportunities and possibilities in store. We don't have too many details about it, but we do know that that's something that they're working on, and we should be able to have in the game. So hopefully that comes soon. What's up? Trufas says, I play LHR, BKK, and MSY daily. If you guys need a fast returning of your planes. Ultra said, join Kick. Just kidding. Yeah, Kick is on the list, but I mean, Kick has a better like revenue sharing model. But like, not everything's about money, you know? Raptor said, I know quite a few WoA players on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I'm part of those Facebook groups as well. So it's like, I know there's a lot of people end up posting my videos or my streams on there. But it's like, they're linking to YouTube. And I know these platforms, like, they don't like it when you're, I don't know. They prefer if you're linking for people to stay in that platform, right? So if you're on YouTube and I'm telling people to go to PHATAIRLINES.com, YouTube doesn't like that, because now I'm telling people to get off of YouTube, right? But if I'm on YouTube and I tell people to check out this video also on YouTube, YouTube loves that. Same thing with Facebook. They, you know, all these platforms, they want you to encourage people to stay on that platform. So that's one of the things I would like to do eventually, is just be able to stream on all those platforms. Apex said, thank you, Phat. Oh, you're welcome, man. I really appreciate your questions, because sometimes, you know, other people have the same questions, or sometimes people might have a different opinion, and then they talk about what they think as well. And it helps me learn too, because when people have, because a lot of people play World of Airports differently, right? Not everybody plays it the same way. Some people, like me, I love player contracts, right? I do a lot of player contracts. But then you got other players who don't do a single player contract at all. They only do computer contracts, right? So like all those people, all of us are different. We're still World of Airports players, but we play the game way differently than from each other, right? So yeah. All right, we're down to 124 on the arrivals here. I'm kind of surprised because all these planes are pushing back, but not a single plane is asking me to schedule it. And I don't have the delivery manager on, so I don't know what's happening. Oh, it's a bunch of cargo planes waiting for landing. It looks like, okay. Maybe the runway is blocked? Nah, it shouldn't be. Yeah, planes are still landing. We got like no planes waiting for takeoff. It's like we're on easy mode right now. Well, we got a few now. But yeah, we're like on easy mode right now where there's not a lot departing. We're only handling 13 at a time. 10 are waiting for depart or are taxiing or departing. So easy mode. Do you have the departure manager on? I turned the departure manager off. I should probably turn the ground manager on just so I can get a little bit of speed up for taxiing. I guess I'll extend this a little bit too. Good news is we're starting to land D planes, so that's good. All right. So yeah, right now I'm playing World of Airports on 2 devices. You don't see the other device, but I'm playing on 2 devices. It's always I miss playing like on multiple devices at once. But it's like it's so hard when I have like so much going on, right? I got a full-time job. I got 2 kids. And one of the things that's important to me is always like spending time with the family. Even though like I know like yesterday, for example, I spent some time playing video games. But like, it's also important to spend time on yourself, right? But I want to make sure I'm also spending time with the family. So it's like, it's funny though, because my 2-year-old, he can play World of Airports. He goes in there and he knows how to handle a plane. He knows how to select, like I turn on this filter, right? I turn on the requiring action filter. But he knows how to go in here, select one of these planes, and then it's usually for handling. So he goes in there, he knows how to drag the slider over from like 0 to 10. He turns on the ramp agent, and then he hits confirm. It's so awesome. Because sometimes I'm just playing like in the living room, right? And it's on the table, and then he's like, I want to play. And then I'm like, okay, go for it. So then he'll just start handling a bunch of planes for me. It's awesome. One day we'll get him his own account, but for now he can play mine, because he doesn't understand really what he's doing. He just knows that like that's making progress, and it's like he gets to see like once you start handling, then you get to see all the vehicles come in, so he likes seeing that. You really not have a limit of contracts at Empire? You're never handling 500 if you got that many sometimes? I'm not having a limit, no. If you guys keep redeeming the points, I'm gonna keep accepting the contracts. You guys know what you're signing up for. You guys know what you're signing up for. But I am preloading these airports. So usually about like anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour before the stream, I'm loading up the airport with a bunch of arrivals, so that way we can handle more planes at once. But then we get to like towards the end of the stream, like we are right now, and we have a bunch of planes that are just like, we're only handling 20. There's only 24 planes in this airport, 14 that are airplanes on airport, and 11 which are departures. So like it gets really slow, and this is one of the complaints that people have, and you know what I was saying earlier, I would love to see a feature that would like 2x the speed of airplanes traveling. It would have to be like something like maybe an improved tower manager, right? Like that way a mild speed up is barely noticeable. All of these speed ups are kind of barely noticeable. I want something that like really is noticeable, and it's like, wow, this game is on fast forward right now. I think that would be cool. It wouldn't fast forward the handling time, but that way we could get a full airport quicker, without having to spend 3 hours offline, waiting for planes to land on their own, to land. That's my opinion. That's what I would like to see. That's a WoA remote control. I know, right? I would love that. Martin said, please cancel all aircrafts that are in contracts from your main account to me, which is Crazy Martin 1203098, and also Virtual Pilot Life 1973. I haven't had time to handle. I'm outside my country at work. Well, hopefully you stay safe. Hopefully everything's all right with you. But yeah, I know a lot of things are different now since you've been away. One of the things that they added in this newest update is this timer right here, right? So some players, like people can see how long it's been since you last handled the plane. For example, this 762 here has been 209 days and 23 hours since the last time I've seen it, right? So this is a contract that I could technically cancel for that. So I think a lot of players, some players are canceling it like 7 days. Some players are doing 30 days. Some players are doing 90. For me, I'm usually waiting about, I'm expecting to wait about 180 days before canceling contracts, but I'm not even going to like, how to word it. The main reason I'm canceling contracts is so I can do more contracts with more active players. So we have on PHATAIRLINES.com, we have a newsletter that we send out. We send out like a newsletter, and I haven't sent one out in a while because I just didn't have contract capacity. So if you sign up, you type in your World of Airports username and your email address, and then what I do is I send out a contract for people to sign up for. So if you have, for example, if I have a 757 that can go to your, it's from my LHR and it can go to your IAD, I'll send in an email saying I have a 757. I show you a picture of the livery. Sometimes it's a unique livery, one that I only use for that email contract. So that way, one, it's like limited edition, but two, like, yeah, that way it's limited edition. It goes to your IAD. All you have to do is reply back to that email saying your username and which airport you want it to, because sometimes there's more than one airport. A lot of times there's more than one airport. You say which airport you want it to, and then eventually I get to it and I send you that contract, and I reply back letting you know I sent you the contract. Please accept it as soon as you can. That way it doesn't take up one of my spots for too long, But it was hard because I had so many contracts, but I didn't have a lot of capacity, and it was impossible for me to, like, when I have like 1,400 contracts at my LHR, my main account. So when I have that many contracts, it's impossible for me to go through every single one of them and make sure that they're coming back, right? Impossible. So now this kind of gives me an idea of whether or not a player has quit, and quit meaning that airport, or quit the game, but most likely the airport is what I'm really talking about. So yeah, sign up for that email list, because it's going to open up a lot of contract capacity for me, and I should be able to send more contracts very, very soon. Seven days is ridiculous. It's a game. Yeah, I mean, well, I can get it if you're like if you're actively trying to get the next airport, right? So let's say you're at IAD and you only have Innsbruck, Bari, and Prague. So like, if you're playing at IAD, if you don't play with somebody who's playing daily and you're playing daily, then not getting that plane back slows you down immensely, right? Because you have to get 10 handlings, And if that person's not playing daily, then it's going to take a long time to unlock the next airport. So I can kind of get it in that aspect, right? But that's why you also have to kind of that's why I say you have to set the expectations up front, right? Don't just like act like it's okay if somebody's, a more casual player, and then cancel their contract because they didn't handle it in 7 days. You have to let them know, hey, I'm actively playing. I'm looking for other active players. A lot of you guys already do that too. So I already see a lot of you guys saying, hey, I'm looking for only active daily players. Because if you're doing a player contract with somebody who doesn't play often, it's going to slow you down. See you later, Educate. Thanks for hopping in, man. Listening to this like a podcast? Nice. You're doing math while watching stream. Ultra is, yep. I love doing math, just not live. My entire job is like looking at spreadsheets and like optimizing the spreadsheets so that way we can automate things. But a lot of that is understanding the math and logic behind, why certain things are calculated a certain way. So it's a lot of validating and making sure things are proper. But yeah. Of math. Vectors are so fun. I don't think vectors are fun. I've never used it outside of school. But then again, I'm not in that kind of field. I figured you were joking, yep. What's up, Allwin? Allwin Interiors, nice to see you. Got a new Roblox sponsorship, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I keep getting offers from like Roblox and Call of Dragons and a few other games to like stream their game. But not something I'm necessarily interested in doing. Oh snap! I got we got stream streaks enabled on our stream now. That's pretty cool. So I see some people have like, we got some people with a five stream streak, like Gab Betha. We have Airsweep Param who left at a 3 stream streak. TJ Bay, you're on a 5 stream streak. That's pretty cool. Kamikaze, I don't think I even said hi to you, Kamikaze. My bad, man. You're at a 3 stream streak. Ultra's on a 3 stream streak. Nice. That's cool. I've seen other Sloppy is on a 5 stream streak. Magiskai is on a 3 stream streak. That's pretty cool. I know some of you guys are lurking, so my bad for calling you out, but it was a feature that I was like wondering when I was gonna get that feature because I seen other streamers have the game streaks. Whaler has a math exam on Friday. See, I thought the silliest part in school was when they wouldn't allow us to use calculators during math tests, which I can get when you're doing like the basics, but like once you're beyond the basics and you already took like the basic test, then it's like why not use a calculator? But when I was growing up, like that was before everybody had like a cell phone. I mean a smartphone, I should say, because some people had like a flip phone when I was in school, but the flip phone didn't really have like that powerful of a calculator. But now on your smartphone you can download powerful calculators if you need it. So yeah. A game is not priority in life. That's true. That is true. Even for me sometimes, right? I feel bad because like I'm telling you guys that I play airports daily, but I still feel bad when I'm not playing like LHR daily. But like some days, like for example, yesterday, actually no, not yesterday, I woke up late. I took the day off from work, And sometimes when I take the day off from work, I like doing a stream. But yesterday I was like, I just need to sleep, because the 4-month-old's been keeping waking us up at night, and I just haven't been getting like great sleep lately. So I wanted to sleep in for a little bit, so I slept in, and then I had to go to a doctor's appointment, and then I went grocery shopping, and then it was 5 p.m. when I got home, and that's usually family time, dinner time, family time. So my iPad stayed in my backpack since the day before, because I took my iPad with me to work. That way I could preload some planes, like have some planes arrive. But I never took the iPad out until this morning. So I was thinking about it last night. I was like, man, I feel bad. Like I should really take the iPad out and play some World of Airports. Actually, I think I did take the iPad out last night, but that doesn't really matter. I still felt bad. But it's like, I mean, life just had priority, right? Grocery shopping's important, because I'm the one who does the grocery shopping. So if I don't go grocery shopping, we don't eat, right? There's no food to eat. So that's important. We got to eat. Spending time with the family is important, because all of us grow up, right? So like, I'm not gonna have these moments again where my newborn has no teeth, right? So I got to see her smile like with just her gums, which is like so adorable. I mean, with the teeth smile are great too, don't get me wrong, but like, it's just different, because then you don't get those back, because then they grow teeth and then that's it. So yeah, just trying to enjoy all the moments we have, but also trying to also make sure, like, because I know like some of you guys are VIP, right? Some of you guys subscribe and pay and like support the channel, and I want to do my part by at least playing the game. That's the least I can do, right? Fulfill that kind of promise. One day it ain't that bad, I know, right? But that's how I feel, man. That's how I feel. Especially like for my VIPs, like they're the ones who are actively like they're financially supporting the channel, right? So it's like I want to make sure that they're getting their planes handled. And before this update came out, before 3.3.1 came out with the timers and all that, I was thinking about like kind of like limiting some of my contracts and some of my airports to only VIPs. But thank goodness this update, because I was running on contract capacity issues, right? So thank God this update came out, because I don't have to worry about doing that for a while now. But that was something I was considering, which I hate to say, but it's true, right? It's true. So yeah, but now I don't have to worry about that, so that's awesome. What else? All right, how are we looking on time here? We got 9 minutes 23 seconds on departure. How my departure queue looking? We could extend that a little bit. We'll extend the ground manager as well, and we'll go back to our let's do runway view here. What do y'all be eating? So my typical like grocery list always has like some chicken breast in it. I have some ground beef, but I get really lean ground beef, which is like 93% lean and like 7% fat. And then sometimes I'll buy like a nice steak, like a New York. Well, right now I have a New York strip in the fridge, but sometimes I'll buy that. Sometimes I'll buy a filet mignon. Sometimes I'll buy top round sirloin. Or top sirloin. So I'll buy some beef. I also buy some cans of tuna, which my wife hates the smell of. So I try to, now I try to make sure I'm making my tuna at night, because like, I don't know if you guys know, but I lost like, how many pounds am I down now? I'm down 51 pounds since my highest weight. So I've lost a lot of weight, and that's because I'm eating the right stuff now. So I'm just trying to keep that up. I still have some weight that I want to do. I want to lose, but like, I mean, you could probably even see it in my face from like, if you look at a stream back in April or May and compare it to now, I'm a lot skinnier. So anyways, yeah, that's why I'm buying the lean ground beef and chicken breast and like the leaner cuts of beef as well. We have, with the chicken, I make a breaded chicken, and we make some linguine. and I put some, we cook both of those, and then we mix it together with some teriyaki sauce, and it's delicious. And then we have some tacos with the ground beef. Sometimes we do pasta with the ground beef. And then I usually have the steak when my wife is just gonna have something, you know, some vegetables and some other meat on the side, or some other protein on the side, or if I need an extra portion or something. DJ Bay said, that's why I like to be a no pressure contract partner, because no one should feel bad spending precious time elsewhere. No knock to anyone grinding in an airport. There's a place and time for that. Yeah, 100%. You know, and that's why I tell people when I'm starting a new airport, like, hey, look, I would really like it if you guys could like play daily. If you can't, like, don't send me a contract immediately. Like, you know, when a brand new airport comes out, when HKG comes out, I'm not gonna have unlimited contract slots, right? Because if you go in here and we buy contract slots, right? You can buy 4 extra contract slots using silver planes every 48 hours. And then using gold planes, you can only buy this every 24 hours. So essentially you're maxed out at 15, 18, 19 that you can buy at one time. So that's not a lot of contracts. I mean, when I'm getting a ton of contracts from other players, right? For me, for a lot of other people, that's more than enough. But for me, that's not a lot of contracts. So like when I'm first starting a new airport, I'm asking all those players to send daily because I want to get those contracts done so I can get the levels. Once I reach like a point where I have an abundance of contract capacity, then it no longer matters to me. But in the first few days of a new airport, yeah, it matters a lot to me. I want to make sure we can get the contracts. I want to make sure I have the capacity and I can get the levels, because especially if you're doing player contracts, you're not getting any XP or silver planes until all 10 handlings are done. All these 10 handlings need to be done before you get a single XP, which could be really tough because, like, I mean, at the early levels here, right, you only need like 1 XP to reach level 1. You need another like 1 XP to reach level 2. Then you need like 2 or 3 XP to reach level 3, right? And then it's a very low XP requirements for these first few levels. And then you don't get like extra contract slots until 13. You don't get extra, handling crew till 21. So it gets really tough. Actually, 4. Level 4, you get extra handling crew. But it gets really tough because I need that plane to be handled 10 times, and if I'm not getting any levels for a while, I want to get those levels at least in 10 days, Any other airports for today's stream? Probably not Pueller. We still have 105 planes waiting to land, and the stream's probably going to end in like 10 minutes. So I can extend the managers for 10 more minutes. In 15 minutes, the stream's going to end. So when the approach manager ends, that's when the stream's going to end. But yeah, we have so many planes still waiting for landing that I don't think it's going to happen. Definitely, well, one, time. We don't have time to switch to another airport. But also, even before that, we still have 104 planes waiting to land. And we didn't even get like 60 planes to land yet. So, like, it's tough. That's why I like preloading these airports. I'm glad you guys allow it on my stream only account. Otherwise, it'd be almost impossible to get like anything done. Chicken guy said S-plane is at your airport. Nice. I don't think it's gonna land though. I'm not sure when it's gonna land. It's probably not gonna land today. But what I can do, let's do this. I'm going to turn off the arrival sequence on approach manager. So that way, that way when I go on to stream next time I play LHR, it'll land planes in the order they were assigned, right? So that means all of these 104 planes that are already assigned a gate, which I believe your plane should be part of as well. Looking for it. I don't see it, but that way, maybe I passed it. I don't know. Either way, that way, all these 104 planes that already assigned a gate will get landed first when I come back to this airport. Unless I forget and I turn off that setting, but usually I don't double check the setting. I just kind of like turn on the game and hit the tower managers and then just get on with the rest of my day. Ultra say I like real life talk, just not like what we talk all the time. But yeah, go. I mean, feel free to ask questions, bro. Some things are like too personal, so I'm not going to answer it, right? But I will let you know, and I'm not going to be upset about it. You know, I'm just like, nah, I'm not going to answer that, or I might just skip your question. Not even answer it. But then you know, some people will just keep asking it, and I'll be like, yeah. Then I have to address it, right? But sometimes I skip questions on purpose. Sometimes things are too personal, you know. But a lot of things that you ask in particular are completely fine. So feel free. No worries on my end. I just, you know, for me, and this is, I'm the same way at work. Like, we're here to play World of Airports. So I want to talk about World of Airports. I don't want to talk about myself. And I'm the same way at work. Like, I'm at work to work. So I want to talk about work. I don't want to talk about my personal life. I don't want to talk about, you know, what I had for dinner last night. I don't want to talk about any of that, which actually caused a problem with my current work team, because like they're very much a team of people who like opening up to each other. So I kind of had to adjust based on my current work team, but it took me some learning, you know, a learning curve to like do that. But in general, like if I'm here to like work, I want to talk about work. I'm here to stream World of Airports, and you guys are here to watch World of Airports and like, you know, listen to World of Airports. That's what I want to talk about. I don't mind talking about myself too, but especially it's a lot easier for me when you guys are asking questions about it. I'll still, like, every once in a while I go into little rants about like how my work day was or how my week was, or little things like happen with the family. But in general, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep it about World of Airports. But yeah, feel free, man. Feel free is what I'm saying. Sloppy doesn't play WoA, I know. But maybe you can now, Sloppy. Now that we have the name change, right? The name change feature. But I mean, up to you. Have our son play your account. Bari is pretty nice. It's slow compared to like some of the bigger airports, you know. So that's why like I don't really go into Bari too often. But now I made the commitment to play the airports like once a week, so that should get me into like Bari and some of these other airports a lot more frequently, hopefully. Man, the one thing I don't like about playing World of Airports on a new device is that none of your hearted planes are saved. So like I have to re-heart every single plane. Look at all these planes ready for a landing. One's ready for handling. We got a 748. Yo, what's up, Doogie? Earlier said, I don't know if I should play Bari right now because I have planes coming in 30 minutes. Yeah, play like Innsbruck for 30 minutes, then come back to Bari. That's usually what I end up doing. If you have like the schedule manager, it'll kind of show you in the schedule. I don't have anything on this account, but it kind of tell you like how long before each stand is occupied. So that's pretty nice. You could also go into the radar, right? And you can go into receiving arrivals, and you can see here how long those planes are going to take to arrive. So there's multiple ways you can find out like how long it's going to take. I could go to departures and see how long it's going to take for people to get their planes back. Lots of planes went out, right? How many planes? 103 planes currently traveling. That's not bad. And I mean, that doesn't count some of the ones that already landed. We got some awesome contract partners in the community. It really makes starting a new airport fun. That is true. There's a lot of great there's a lot of players who play often, so they're great contract partners, and not only just playing often but also like very understanding about like balance. It's always like great, you know. People don't make you feel bad for taking, you know, time off from the game. See you later, Apex. Thanks for joining. Is there a channel besides Turtles and Chill we should raid? Yeah, that's when I remember to do it. Yeah, thank you for doing them, Sloppy. Oh dang, I'm 5 minutes behind in chat, guys. I'm sorry. Panoramic key. Yeah, did I miss your name? Oh, here it is. You know what? I'll do this for you, right? I'll heart it so that way you can get it. But then it's going to get unhearted for the next stream. Is what we got. 7 minutes. 7 minutes. 6 minutes. I always accept the free contracts, man. The local contract, I always accept it and I handle it once. I just get, you know, you get some silver planes and some XP for that. And the random arrival, I always accept it too. Like this is a local contract. I accepted it. I'm going to handle it once. Then at the end, I'm just going to cancel the contract. This one, I must have hit continue by accident. Rufa said, so Phat, can you tell us how you experiencing the new CNN airport? Is it worth it? Is it an enjoyable airport to play? It's a cool airport. I'm only like level 10 there. I'm low level there. So I'm not really like making a lot of progress. I'm not like trying to go fast at that airport. I don't think there's a reason to try to speed run it. Like there are some reasons in other airports, but it's fun. It's worth it in my opinion, especially if you get the premium pass. Because if you unlock the airport and you unlock the premium pass, both using gold planes, because that's the only way you can unlock them. But if you get both of them, you get, I think, like 4 gold planes back from both the premium and free passes. But then you also get enough silver planes to make more, like I think like 15 or 16 gold planes to trade them in. So if you're playing the airport, getting both is worth it 100%. But I mean, it's a small airport. It's like Innsbruck, you know, it's like Innsbruck, and I like that it adds, you know, some contracts like BKK and Muscat and, you know, Sydney potentially. I think I haven't bought too many fleet planes, but I have like 40 contract capacity available at my CNN, so I think I'm going to do that soon. But also, I don't have a ton of maulers there yet, right? So like buying fleet planes is kind of tough when you don't have Wallers. It's impossible, right? You need Wallers to buy fleet planes. So that's where I'm a kind of hard to like tell you for sure. I forgot to cancel that one. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a nice chill airport, you know, and but it's not going to be like an airport that like you're going to be grinding out, you know, like I'm not going to be grinding out, I should say. You might do it. I'm not. See you later. Oh. Ultra said, I guess, but buy a couple gold planes if you don't have 5 and you're good to go. Yeah, exactly. And you know, I don't mind supporting the developers, you know, because like if Sloppy spends it, it's like it's the same as me spending it. Don't know how you got that if you didn't accept the regional one. Okay, gotcha. Raptor said, I thought I'd send you an E140 since it's a new plane. I wonder if it's going to be the first E140 I handle. What's up, Darius Pilot? Welcome back. Anyone sent you a B753 in your stream account yet? I don't know, man. Let's take a look at the achievements. Where are my achievements? Is it achievements? What we got locked. I haven't handled an A306F. That's crazy, right? Because that plane's been out for a while. Haven't handled a DH-8C. Haven't handled an AT-45. No, I have not handled a 753. I haven't handled an E-135 and E-140. I haven't handled an MD-11 or an MD-11F. And I haven't handled a 744F. And I'm missing a secret. Probably at Nagoya. Yeah, that's probably the Nagoya secret, because I don't have Nagoya unlocked. The direction of landing in CNN doesn't sync anymore to METAR. I noticed it maybe around 3 days ago. That is pretty interesting. I know it's supposed to, but maybe there might be a little delay, perhaps. Is that possibly? Because I know one time I was looking at METAR, right, and I was looking at the landing, like what airport it was, what runway was being in use, and it didn't match up. But I kind of thought maybe there's like a delay, right? Because if you were to do like an every second data pull, that would be extremely expensive. So it's probably like a data pull, like it's probably pulling data from METARs every like 30 minutes or so. So maybe like in 30 minutes you can try it out. There's got to be some kind of delay, because I think even the weather is also kind of like on a delay, because the weather is supposed to match up what's happening in real life too. So I think there has to be some sort of delay. All these games, when you're looking at real world data, it's using an API, like a data pull. So there's got to be some, there's usually some sort of delay that causes that causes a mismatch. How does it say I didn't handle? Oh no, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong game. Raptor said my A340 just got there in time for the end of stream. Nice. Oh, look, it's panoramic key. And I got 5 minutes on that. Do you get the XP from the other player contracts when it's finished? So the way it works is, if it's your fleet plane, right, when you send it to the other player, it's going to be at 9 out of 10, and then for the other player it's going to be at 10 out of 10. So once the other player finishes that contract, then it comes back to you, and then when it first comes and you get it to the gate, it immediately has that redemption. So you claim that contract, then you have the option to renew it immediately, or do something else with it. So the other player has to get the redemption first, and then you get to redeem it. If it's somebody sending you a fleet plane, you get to redeem it first, and then when it goes back to them, then they get the rewards. So yeah, both players get the rewards from that plane, which is pretty cool. That's why I think some people like send me a ton of planes, because they know I have a lot of I play a lot, so they want to make sure they can get a lot of redemptions too. But I always tell people, like, don't just send me planes, you know, send to other players too, because sometimes, you know, I go on vacation, I take time off from the game, you know, and if I take a day off or a week off or whatever, take some time off to like spend time with the family, I don't want you to be stranded because I decided to take a couple of days off from playing World at Airports. I want you to still make some progress, and that's why you want to. That's why I have a variety of players. Even when especially when I'm starting a new airport, I play with a variety of players. Even though I know a lot of the players that are sending me contracts play every day, you never know what'll happen. So I try to get a bunch of different people playing at once. Cancel that contract. Oh. Those just yet. Alrighty, well guys, if you guys haven't followed or subscribed yet, please do so. We stream every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So yeah, even on like next Saturday I'll be streaming. Even the Saturday for Thanksgiving here in the US, I should be streaming too. That stream might be shorter because sometimes we do Thanksgiving at different family members' houses on Saturday. I don't know exactly what our Thanksgiving plans are, but yeah, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, make sure you join the Discord, and you know, also sign up for the Phat Airlines email newsletter. On the email newsletter, not only do I send email contracts, but when there are like major updates that are out, I send an email notification to let you guys know. I'm working. Every once in a while, I'll send out like little like tips and tricks for World at Airports. That's not my goal is to have that going out like every week, but it's been lower priority, so I'm not promising that right now. Maybe eventually we'll get to every week, but yeah. Either way, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I want to thank you all for being here. You know, it's always a blast. It's always a lot of fun. It's more fun when you guys are here versus when you're not. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the support. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic week, a weekend, a fantastic week. Good luck on your exams. Happy birthday. And yeah, have a good one. I'm not going to end the stream. We're going to raid somebody. I don't know who Sloppy found because I did not find anybody. Sohan, thank you for the follow. Darius Pilot, you reached your 3 stream streak. Nice. Got all these contract requests complete. So all right, yeah, peace out Snowyak, peace out Ching. Bro, I just started playing Long Way to Go. Yeah, it's quite a grind in the beginning, but once you get to like IAD, the grind really gets a lot easier, I gotta tell you. But it could take a while to get there. So eventually we're gonna start a brand new account. I don't know when that's going to happen, but we're going to start another brand new account soon, eventually. So that way we can go through what the experience of a brand new player in 3.3 looks like. Peace out, Mr. Chicken Guy. Peace out, Pueller. Peace out, Made to Move. Peace out, Ultra. Peace out, Sammy. Peace out, Darius. Peace out, Ultra. Peace out, Sloppy. Peace out, Raptor. TJ Bay. Kamikaze, peace out, man. Yeah, I hope you guys all have a great week, man. For real, thanks for being here. We handled that chicken plane, so Chicken, your plane is back. Like I said, it is unhardened now, but I knew you really wanted to see it and you wanted to come back, so I got you, bro. Alrighty, guys, we are going to raid on Twitch, which means stay tuned because you get some points for joining the raid. I don't know who we're gonna raid. We're gonna figure it out, but Mr. Chicken Guy, I'm gonna refund your parachute because we don't got time for that. But hope you guys have a fantastic week and talk to you soon. Peace.